this out, a couple of different views. And one person had said, well, the person obviously wanted the attention. That's why they wrote what they wrote. Figured, someone would find it, whatever. I heard this dude who's been a doctor for over, 30, 40 years and has dealt a lot with young men, saying young men want to be a hero, at least in their own eyes. And depending on where you went to school, what your belief system is, you can think of yourself as, well, if I did this, I would be a hero. Yeah. And he really believes that's where this dude got to, that it wasn't that he snapped and went nuts. It's that somehow, some way, he really thought he could be this hero for people if he went and shot this guy. That's, to me, a mental illness.
Well, sure. Well, it's narcissism.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, people trying to figure out the whole thing, and we'll get to the fascination that some women have with this guy a little bit later, because that's crazy. A bunch of women in their 20s posting on social media how they're lusting after this guy, and they can save him, and they'll go visit him in prison. It's just nuts. We live in a crazy time.
We do.
Stating the obvious. Now, meanwhile, you have a parody of something, David?
Yeah, just something maybe a little bit more lighthearted. Some people may find this in poor taste. I found it kind of funny.
Okay.
Someone who goes by Brett the Lorax put out a parody video imagining that Luigi Mangione was the nephew of an Italian mob boss who, along with another mobster, can't believe how badly Luigi screwed this whole thing up because he wasn't supposed to target the CEO. And so the setup is that they're talking to him on the phone, and so you hear their side of the conversation as they're talking to him.
Okay, roll it.
Luigi, you're telling me you whacked the CEO of United? We said whack CEO United, the head of the Japanese mafia.
Do you realize what you've done, Luigi? Wait, why is there so much wind? Are you calling me on a city bike right now?
Oh, no, what?
He says he escaped in the woods. Why do we hear a horse and carriage? He's in Central Park.
Luigi, come on! All right, just relax. We left you an escape plan in your backpack. You ditched that in Central Park.
You thought they were going to identify you by your backpack, but not when you gave your name to the barista?
Luigi, come on, man!
He said a cute hostile word complimented his smile?
Luigi, I swear to God, if you took off your mask, your nephew's a damn idiot. As long as he stays put in the safe house, he'll be all right.
Bad news, he got caught.
No!
Good news, the McRib is back.
Hey!
I'm sure some will think that's in bad taste, but I got to admit, I'm laughing.
Yes.
It's like one mistake after another.
Yeah. Come on, Luigi! Your nephew's an idiot.
Gee whiz. Okay. And there is a lot of different things to tackle today. Making more than $80 million for 2 movies. Do you hear who's doing that? And Justin Trudeau from Canada in the news straight ahead.
It's time for high school football, presented by Savage Auto Group on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
High school sports on 830 WEEU are brought to you in part by Adelphia Seafood, American Diner, Bachman's Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, Chick-fil-A, Cross Keys Insurance, Diefenbach Snacks, Duck Donuts, Elite Fuel Service, Everything Printing, Houndstown Ready, Judd Firestone Plumbing, Kuhn Funeral Home, Overhead Door Company, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, McGinty Motor Cars, Pizza Como, Reading Fight and Fills, Savage Auto Group, Shore Stay Best Western Hotel in Reading, Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society, and Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery.
WEEU is proud to showcase the talent and skill of our local high school athletes. From every tackle to every blitz and every thrilling touchdown, we bring you the best calls and analysis. Now, live from the field, your hosts, Bob McCool and Matt Lytle.
All right, count us down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. High school basketball continues here on WEU. The Reading Red Knights, the Muhlenburg Muhls, going after one another tonight in Division I of the Berks Basketball Conference. Red Knights so far off to a 1-3 start in non-league contests. Muhlenburg is 4-2 overall. The Muhls with the game on Tuesday night, their first game in conference play, and they fall to Governor Mifflin. Red Knights making their Berks boys Division I debut in tonight's game. All of that sounds great. What really matters the most between these two is the rivalry. They played 3 times last year. Muhlenburg won here in Lauderdale. Reading High won at the Geigel. And then in the county semifinals at Santander Arena, the Red Knights got the best of Muhlenburg to win the series, if you will, 2-1. And it starts anew in this one tonight. High school basketball here on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. And our coverage is available to you as for free as well. Free video stream. No matter where you are, you can watch it. Tell your friends. Let them know that as well. It's available to you at 8:30 WEEU Sports on YouTube. It's also available to you on Facebook Live as well on WEEU's Facebook page. High school basketball is presented by Savage Auto Group, and our pregame show rolls from Lauderdale when we come back after this.
Is this the extension cord for the snowman or the extension cord for the Christmas tree?
That's the extension cord for the twinkly lights on the roof. I taped them all together so they'd reach.
I'm worried we're going to strangle a reindeer here.
Can I be of service?
DHL Bowman Bowman.
When you're at your wit's end, when you have more decorations to plug in than you have plugs to plug into, one man will be by your side, fighting for truth, justice, and the holiday spirit.
DHL Bowman Bowman.
Hey, a Christmas arrow. How seasonal.
Can you help us get all this plugged in?
I can, ma'am. The expert electricians at H.L. Bowman can add new outlets in the places you need them to make your holiday decorating simpler and safer.
Oh, look, Mr. Bowman. Here's that sprig of mistletoe I was looking for.
All right, Mildred. That's enough eggnog for you.
DHL Bowman Bowman.
Visit hlbowman.com.
Ahoy! Adelphia Seafood is your neighborhood market for the freshest seafood around, with locations in West Lawn, Fairgrounds Market, and Pottsville. They offer a range of delicious options from crab cakes, clams, fresh organic salmon, and succulent shrimp, as well as convenient take-home dinners and more. For more information or to place an order, visit adelphiaseafood.com or just call one of their stores. Enjoy top-quality seafood and exceptional service right in your community at Adelphia Seafood.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together? Score big this season with trays from Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken nuggets and chicken strips, fruits and garden salads, chocolate chunk cookies, and their delicious mac and cheese. Make a play with Chick-fil-A and you'll be a winner every time. Visit Chick-fil-A at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Chick-fil-A voted America's favorite fast food restaurant.
Welcome back to Muhlenburg High School alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Again, tonight it is Reading High taking on Muhlenburg. Division I battle between two great rivals, what has become one of the great rivalries in Berks County as well, especially here on the basketball floor. Again, Reading High is off to a 1-3 start. Muhlenburg at 4-2. Here's a rundown just to set the table. Reading High so far, losses to Coatesville, Father Judge, and to Hazleton, and then a win on Tuesday night against McCaskey. Again, tonight is their debut in Division I of the Berks Conference for this season. They won the division last year with an 8-3 record. Muhlenburg on the other side is 4-2, wins in a tournament up in Wilkes-Barre. They beat Holy Redeemer. They beat Wilkes-Barre High School. Then a solid win over Hempfield, always a tough out. They beat the Hempfield Black Knights 5-2. Then a one-sided loss to Central Dauphin, a win over Columbia, and then the game on Tuesday night that made a lot of eyes open up around Division I and the Berks Conference when Governor Mifflin took down the Mustangs in Shillington, took down the Mules in Shillington 77-73. Rich, I think it starts to talk about that, not so much that it was Mifflin beating Muhlenburg, but just what we believe is going to be pretty much a daily occurrence in Division I of the Berks Conference.
There will be no night off in Division I. We saw that Monday night at Wilson. Berks Catholic jumped out to an early 14-0 lead. Wilson came back, took the lead. Berks Catholic then regained the lead and held off the Bulldogs in a just a terrific opener. And we expect nothing less here tonight. But this division, I think this year, it's been strong. We've seen a ton of exciting games, but I think particularly this year, You cannot afford to take a night off against anybody.
So Francis Kamara is in his second season here with the Red Knights, and he is a Red Knight, played at Reading High, played both football and basketball at Reading High, and now he's in his second season. Of course, if you don't know the background, here's the background. Rick Perez, obviously the very successful head coach for Reading High for 12 seasons, the all-time winningest coach at the all-time winningest program in the state of Pennsylvania. Rick Perez won 281 games. Also, more importantly than anything, in terms of Reading High fans, he won 3 state championships before ultimately resigning his position at Reading High. His longtime assistant through most of that was Matt Flowers, who, of course, is now at his alma mater here at Muhlenburg. Rick Perez, 2 years ago, decided that he wanted to spend more time with his kids who are on this roster here at Muhlenburg and go back now. And so he is an assistant with his good friend Matt Flowers here at Muhlenburg. Francis Kamara, who was Rick Perez's assistant coach, is now taking over as the head coach. So that's the backstory, which only adds to this rivalry. But right now, the story is this, where Reading High is. Very much, I think, Rich, where they were a year ago in a lot of ways, which is they are developing. The Reading High team that you see in December never really ever looks like the team that you see in February for a good reason. They're replacing a lot of bodies because they were really good last year, and they are very young in this start of this season, and they will grow up fast.
Yeah, Rick Perez was known for developing players during his time at Reading. And Francis Kamara did that in his first year last year. We saw them early, saw them get pounded by Exeter at the Geigel, and they bounced back in a big way. You can see them every game get better and better. Reached the county championship game, lost a heartbreaker to Wilson, played in the district final? Semifinal, right. Yep. I couldn't remember that. And then reached the state semifinals where they lost to Central York, the eventual state champ. Reading played really, really well the last 6-7 weeks of the season, and I expect the same from this team. It's young. It's built around its backcourt, junior Wesley Rosario, sophomore Jeremiah Kamara. They've got some other pieces, too. They've got a transfer. Well, he played on the freshman team last year.
Justin
Castro,
right,
who had 21 the other night against McCaskey. So, I think Reading, if I were a Reading High Red Knights fan, I wouldn't get too concerned about the 1-3 start.
Yeah, well, that's just not going to happen, Rich. It just doesn't work that way for the Red Knight fans. They are not in anticipation of that. I'm sure there's some other uneasy feelings. But, again, this is, as you said, very much the way it started last year. And at the end of the year, which is really matters, as Rich said, they played it all the way up until the state semifinal, and they lost the eventual state champion in Central York in a game you heard here on WEEU. But the answer to it all is where and what is returning. And as Rich said, they have a couple of veteran players, but even they are young. Wesley Rosario is a junior. Jeremiah Kamara, Francis' son, is a sophomore. They are the veterans on this very young basketball team.
Yeah, and they're very good. I mean, both guys can shoot it. Rosario especially might be the best passer in Berks County. Distributes the ball very well, has done so since he was a freshman. They also have a couple other pieces in Xavier Beatty, who is an outstanding football and track athlete. And then, as we mentioned, Justin DeCastro, who played freshman ball last year. He's very capable, 6'2", 6'3". And Khalil Samuel, who has also shown he can score. So they started slow offensively, played the first 2 games without Rosario, who had a foot injury, according to Francis Kamara, had been bothered by his foot all summer into the fall, missed the first 2 games. And since then, Reading's offense has been much, much better.
We'll take a timeout. We get back to Laureldale. We'll talk about the home team, the Muhlenburg Muhls. Again, tonight it's Muhlenburg and Reading High. More of our pregame show on WEEU after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Welcome back to Muhlenburg High School alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCord. Pregame show continues. We're about maybe 10 minutes or so away from tip-off. The JV game running a little bit long, and so that's why our varsity game a little bit delayed, but that's not really all that new. And it just gives us a chance before we get into the Muhlenburg game to tell you what lies ahead in week 2 of our high school basketball coverage. And we'll start it with these Reading High Red Knights. Will be at the Geigel for the first time, and it will be Berks Catholic at Reading round 1 this season, of course, because Berks Catholic, Rich just talked about them and the addition that they bring into the table in Division I. So Berks Catholic and Reading High on Tuesday night. Then Friday night we'll be back in West Lawn. It'll be Reading High against Wilson. That's where it's going to be. And then on the Monday night before Christmas, December the 23rd, we will have our first girls game of the season. And we'll start that one off with a flurry as well, with Berks Catholic and I'm missing in a non-leaguer. But don't believe that doesn't mean a whole lot between those two. So that'll be our games in the month of December, and then, of course, we'll have a full run of basketball all the way through the postseason after the new year. But let's talk a little bit about the Mules, again, under the direction of Matt Flowers, now in his 4th season at his alma mater. 56 wins and 32 losses, including going 16-12 a year ago. The path of the postseason for Muhlenburg in 2024, they lost to these Red Knights in the county semifinals, did qualify for the District 3 playoffs. They lost in the quarterfinals to York Suburban and then beat Manheim Central in what ultimately was a 7th place finish, which allowed them to get into the PIAA playoffs, and they lost in the opening round of the PIAA playoffs, 57-49. They tied with Wilson at 7-4 in Division I behind Reading High, and also ultimately got into the playoffs in the middle of the pack. But this year they start off again with wins over Holy Redeemer, Wilkes-Barre, Hempfield to get off to a 3-0 start. Then a one-sided loss to Central Dauphin, a big win over Columbia, and then the loss on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin. So, Rich, you're talking with Matt Flowers about the game, and he's still talking, even though his team between these two is far more experienced than his Reading High, he's still talking about growing pains for his Mules as well.
Yeah, he talked about them not being mature enough to handle some things in the Governor Mifflin game Tuesday night. And I'm like, what? They did lose 2 glue guys, and Kyle Archie and Alex Collado, really good high school players. But still, I thought they had enough. I thought they had plenty of experience with Shamar Killen and Jaden Kantner and Michael Miller and Jeffrey Collado. But Jeffrey Collado has been coming off the bench. Matt Flowers telling us that he wasn't working hard enough. That he had to prove to him that he had to be ready to play. And so I think we're going to see Jeffrey Collado tonight coming off the bench, and I think he's going to play a big role in this game.
And you talked about Shamar Killen, who was a player who maybe personifies what Matt Flowers has brought to Muhlenburg in terms of development of a player. Shamar Killen went from an unknown a year ago to being not just a player on the landscape of Berks County basketball, but a major player. Ended up in the top 10 in scoring in the county, and he became ultimately the go-to scorer on most nights for the Mules.
Yeah, he had a year ago here when Muhlenburg beat Reading 87-74, he had 29 points, and Jaden Kander had 19. They had terrific games that night. Killen can kill you inside, and he can kill you outside. He's so good at going to the basket and drawing you outside, and that first step is really quick. I like him a lot. I like the way he plays the game. He's a really good rebounder and a pretty good defender as well. And Jaden Cantner, to me, I'll say this. I'm trying to, off the top of my head, this is only our second game, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the best point guard in this county this year. I mean, right along Wesley Rosario, because Cantner can distribute and he can score. Last year he had some growing pains.
Yes.
He had transferred from Brandywine Heights, so little difference, step up in competition. But after those early growing pains, he played very well the rest of the season.
Yeah, and this may or may not mean anything, but he also had a terrific season in this fall in soccer for Muhlenburg, and I think that's a byproduct of exactly what you're talking about. Each and every time we talked with Matt Flowers last year, it was about Jaden Cantner has to get used to playing at this level, and that's what they're talking about. It's just different. If you don't understand the difference between playing in Division III and Division IV in the conference versus playing against Reading High and Muhlenberg and
Night
Wilson
after night.
every
Yes.
night. And
Yeah.
he just talked about the fact that he had to get tougher. He had to understand that you have to bring it every night in this level. You can't just show up from time to time. And so far, it looks like he has. He had 20 against Central Dauphin. He had 23 against Holy Redeemer. So already in this season, 6 games in, he's already been over 20 points in 2 of those games. It could be a prolific score.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer. He's averaging over 16 points a game. Killen is averaging almost 15. But Cantner has shown that. And the same thing, he is extremely quick. And maybe that's from soccer, I don't know. But he can get up and down the court as quick as any high school player I've seen in the last 2-3 years.
And then there is what's coming, because we were talking about the inexperience for Muhlenberg, and that's the experience in Cantner and Killen. But then it becomes, where does the inexperience come from? 2 sophomores. We saw them both come off the bench a lot last year. Justin Armstrong, I mean, he was a 9th grader, and he looked like he was a 6th grader when he was out on the floor, up until it mattered, because he backed down from no one at 5'8". And he is going to be a guy who's going to be in the lineup tonight. And Eli Hemmings, who was a member of he was a guy who played, but he didn't play a whole lot of minutes. Right now, Matt Flowers said it, and I quote, he's playing our best basketball right now, and he had 23 against Mifflin on Tuesday night.
Yeah, he's averaging also in double figures, around 11 points a game. And 6'3", he can hurt you in a lot of ways. And, Reading is not particularly big. I think Muhlenberg might have a slight edge in size with Killen and Hemmings. And, DeCarlo has some nice size for Reading, but we'll see how that goes. But, I like the makeup of the Mules. And that's why losing to Governor Mifflin. Governor Mifflin has a really nice team, by the way. Yep. First-year coach Garrett Etzel, first-year coach there. But the fact that they lost that game and they were playing so well was a bit of a surprise.
So it's time now for us to take a look at our keys to the game, and they're brought to you by RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years of experience providing countless buyers and sellers keys to their real estate transactions. Call 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. Reading High, Muhlenberg, Rich Garcella has his keys to the game.
Bob, you're not going to believe this with all the ties between Reading and Muhlenberg, but each coach gave me 3 keys. 2 of them are the same. But let's go with the visiting Reading Red Knights.
The ties that bind.
Yes. The first one is taking care of the basketball. Red Knights want to get up and down the court, but they want to take care of the basketball. They also, Francis Kamara stressed rebounding, and that's going to be a really big factor tonight because Xavier Beatty isn't particularly big, but he can jump out of the gym. And the third thing, and I think this is the biggest key of the night, composure. Whichever team keeps its composure the best will have a better chance and even, I think, will win this game. For the home team, the Muhlenburg Muhls, transition defense. Yes, Muhlenberg has to get back on defense. Both these teams are going to look to run every chance they get. Defensive rebounding is what Matt Flowers stressed. That's going to be important. And the third thing, again, emotions. Keep them in check. Well, emotions, composure, however you want to put it, whoever keeps their poise tonight, whoever does a better job doing that, will win this game.
Yeah, Matt Flowers said emotion. Francis Kamara said composure. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Correct.
It's all about how you're dealing with everything that's going on around you. And once you're on the floor, can you separate the elements? And all the things that are going on around you and maintain your composure or maintain your emotions on the floor as all of that's happening. It's time for us now to take a look at our starting lineups. They're brought to you by Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 100 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Emmanuel, a taste of Italy, right here in Reading. For the Red Knights, it will be the two returning veterans, and I use that terminology loosely. Wesley Rosario started last year as a junior. He is now a sophomore. He's now their point guard and a junior at 6 foot tall. Jeremiah Kamara, the 5'9" sophomore, will be the other guard. Justin DeCastro, 6'3" and a sophomore again, 21 on Tuesday night against McCaskey. Khalil Samuel, 6'2" and a senior at 1 forward spot. And Xavier Beatty, 6'3" and a senior, as good of an athlete as there is in Berks County. And Xavier Beatty will give them a great presence on the floor for the Red Knights. For the Mules, under Matt Flowers, again, his 4th season at his alma mater. And the Mules will go with a little bit of a smaller look tonight. Javier Hutchinson, a 6'4" senior, had been starting, but they're going to go with Justin Armstrong in the starting lineup. So it's Armstrong at 5'8" and a sophomore, along with Jaden Kantner, 5'11" and a senior. And then Eli Hemming, 6'3" and a sophomore, along with Michael Miller, 6 foot and a junior, will be their forwards, if you will. And then Shamar Killen at 6'2" and a senior is the other starter. So it is a much smaller lineup, if you will, for Muhlenburg, because really there is not size for either team. The size for either team is not anything more than 6'3", 6'4" at the most with Javier Hutchinson. So this figures to be, because of the style, because of the teams, because of everything, this is a team, this is going to be a game, Rich, where it's going to be full court coming at you. And I said it to Francis Kamara, because I say it to him all the time, and I said, are you going to come after them right from the jump? And he looked at me like, what are you kidding?
What are you, crazy?
I said, I had to ask the question.
And Matt Flowers said this, too. The officials tonight better be in mid-season form, and you got 3 real good ones here tonight, 3 veteran officials, and they've handled games like this, but this is going to be up and down and very, very intense and emotional.
It will be indeed. We're going to take a timeout. We'll keep our emotions in check when we come back with the starting lineups, with the tip-off. Muhlenburg and Reading, live on WEEU in Reading.
One word comes to mind when you think of Latanzio sandwiches in Laureldale. Huge! That's right, their hoagies are filled to the brim with all your favorite deli meats. Ham, turkey, roast beef, and Italian, of course. Forget about taking a trip to Philly. They got cheesesteaks, burgers, Italian sausage, and meatball subs. If you're hungry, don't get fast food. Get real food from Latanzio, Agabish. 3226 Kutztown Road in Laureldale. Order on the phone 610-921-2324 or order online latanziosandwiches.com.
Judd Firestone Plumbing is your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, our team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams, we handle it all with professionalism and care. Call today at 610-678-9080. Judd Firestone Plumbing, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind.
Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's Rewards Program. Purchase select items at Redner's and unlock big savings on groceries and fuel. Redeem your points in-store and fill your shopping cart with fantastic deals like buy 3, get the 4th free. Save on fuel, too. Enjoy discounts at Redner's Quick Stop, Speedway, and many other locations. Get 5 cents off per gallon for every $50 spent. Plus, discover tons of special offers, digital deals, and surprise savings available to Rewards customers. Start saving today. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
If you're interested in having your business advertised within WE's coverage of high school sports, it's as easy as calling 610-345-7338. That's 610-345-7338. At the prompts, hit number 1 for sales, and you can find out how easy and cost-effective it can be. We thank our sponsors for their coverage, and one of them is Bachman Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, and we take a look at the Spotlight, brought to you by the good folks at Bachman Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling. Whether your needs are residential or commercial, Bachman's makes the home improvement process easy. The Bachman family has proudly served the Berks County community for over 50 years. Tonight, we turn that spotlight, Rich, on to me, Wesley Rosario, the junior point guard. Missed the first 2 games for Reading High. 2 significantly losses in which the Red Knights only were able to accumulate 35 points and 37 points. Now, it was very good competition at Coatesville and Father Judge. But still, Wesley Rosario returns to the mix for Reading High, and suddenly the point per game goes from the mid-30s to the mid-70s, and I don't think that is by coincidence.
Well, what he does is not just handle the basketball and distribute the basketball, but they need him. The Red Knights need him to provide leadership. When he was younger, particularly his freshman year, he would lose his poise in some big situations. Yep. He's gotten better at it, and I would expect him to be one of the stabilizing forces on this Reading High team this year.
And so that is all a piece of that puzzle we're talking about with maintaining their composure in this environment. So again, the starting lineups for the Red Knights, it's Jeremiah Camaro as well as Wesley Rosario and Justin DeCastro in the backcourt. Khalil Samuel and Xavier Beatty are your forwards. For the Mules, Justin Armstrong, Jaden Kantner, and Shamar Hill in the guards. Michael Miller and Eli Hemmings are the forwards. The Red Knights and the Mules about to get underway. Rich mentioned the officials for tonight's game as three veterans, and they are indeed that. Kevin Line, Jim Murray, Jay Schmale on the whistles tonight here in Laureldale.
You know, there's so many similarities to the program, Bob, and we were commenting about Muhlenburg's new uniforms. Muhlenburg's uniforms say the Berg. Reading's uniforms say the High.
All right.
So they're almost, it's funny how a lot of similarities, but a lot of shared relationships between the two programs.
And the final conversations with their coaches before they head out. Of course, the Mules with those new unis in the home whites with the blue and gold trim. Reading High in visiting black uniforms with the red trim. You mentioned, Rich, about the athletic abilities of Xavier Beatty, an outstanding football player. Went out for track for the first time, and all he did was win the District 3 long jump. And Rents Kamara said he'll be doing the triple jump this year as well. He is just an unbelievably talented all-around athlete.
He sure is.
And we are expecting that he could, at any point in time, explode on the basketball floor as well. Right now, he's an athlete playing basketball, but there is some great bloodlines there as well in terms of his basketball exploits. And it's the Mules in their home gym who control the tap with Michael Miller looking down low for Killen, posting up. Instead, they swing it around the other way. Right wing is Kantner giving it up for Killen, going against Beatty with a fadeaway. It's off the rim and rebounded by Jeremiah Camaro, who kicks it up the floor for the Red Knights and DeCastro. And the drive and the finish for Khalil Samuel.
Great pass inside in transition to Samuel.
And so the Red Knights score first, and now here's a takeaway by Rosario. Rosario drives, dumps it back. Jump shot is partially blocked, and a foul. It's Killens on the hand of Justin DeCastro to put him on the line.
Again, we're only 39 seconds into this game, and Reading has looked to push the pace both times, beating the Mules down the floor.
So it'll be DeCastro, the 6'3 sophomore who had the assist on the bucket to Samuel, who will now step to the free throw line. And again, fouls were a problem for the Mules on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin. It was a foul fest in Shillington. And the Mustangs made Muhlenburg pay for it at the free throw line. Mifflin shot 44 free throws in that basketball game and won it by 4 down the stretch. Castro makes the first of 2. Now I wait for his teammates to come back out of the unofficial timeout on the huddle at the bench and makes them both, which allows the Red Knights to apply the pressure with now a 4-0 lead out of the gate.
Full court man-to-man pressure. Killen handling the ball for the Mules.
Gets everybody else off the end of the floor. Now gives it up for Michael Miller on the left wing. Trying to drive at DeCastro. Gives it up for Killen. And there's this skip pass and swinging around for Hemmings in the corner. Cutter is Killen. Killen hard and hole. Count the bucket and a foul.
Great pass by Armstrong from the wing.
And the foul is going to be on Xavier Beatty, who was just a step behind Shamar Killen. Makes them pay with a bucket, and the contact will put him on the line. First foul against the Red Knights on Beatty. And I was talking about the bloodlines for Xavier Beatty. Never finished the thought. And, of course, his mom, Tanisha Giddens, was a tremendous basketball player at Reading. Then went on to a 1,000-point career at Alvernia. and was a very successful coach of the girls basketball team at Reading High as well, before giving it on to Rashida Suber, who has continued the success for the Reading High girls program. Killen at the free throw line finishes off the three-point play that quickly. Muhls right back in it at 4-3.
Muhls come out in a 2-2-1 full three-quarter court pressure.
Played a minute of basketball. Rosario up ahead. Beatty, great touch pass. Come on, count the bucket.
Yeah, great look. Great way to break the press by the Red Knights.
Ball didn't touch the ball from the foul line to the bucket. Kamara's first two makes it 6-3. Kantner from the foul line gives it back for Armstrong, and the Muhls will reset. Straight up man and a half court for the Red Knights. Kamara guarding Kantner. Great matchup. Kantner fakes right, goes left, draws traffic, spins, misses. Deflected, tipped around. Michael Miller with a rebound for the Muhls and a second look. Miller will take it himself off the glass.
Strong rebound and putback by Michael Miller.
His first field goal makes it a 6-5 game. And there's that 2-2-1 again, but a travel this time, an unforced error by Cleo Samuel, who tried to put on the brakes and get it back and couldn't do it.
First turnover of the night for the Red Knights. Terrific pressure along the sideline by the Mules.
Matt Flowers has talked to us, Rich, about Michael Miller. He's a very good football player, but he was banged up last year, and they ultimately ended up shutting him down because of the injuries of football. If he can stay healthy, he could be a major help for this Muhlenberg offense.
He is a rock. He is built solidly.
And he's battling with now for the high post into the cutter. Kantner blocked from behind by Rosario. He's got the ball on the open floor. Great no-look pass. DeCastro missed it, but Beatty's there to clean it up for the Red Knights.
Again, Reading beat the Mules down the floor. Something to watch.
Armstrong drives, nowhere to go. Kicks it back for Killen. Double team, gives it up. Miller left alone for three. It's an air ball and out of bounds to Reading High. 5:35 left to go in the first. Reading High on top, 8-5.
The one thing Reading has done better so far, besides its transition game, is passing the basketball. Very unselfish for the Red Knights.
Kamara from the midcourt to beat the pressure. Now they'll settle it down, and they'll run the offense in the hands of junior point guard Wesley Rosario. Great no-look pass again for a layup for Samuel. Oh,
what a pass by Rosario from about 10 feet behind the three-point line to underneath for the layup.
Just dices up the Mule defense, makes it a 10-5 game as we hit the 5-minute mark of the quarter. Kantner spins in traffic, but a foul before the shot that did go down, but they'll wave that off and they'll give it underneath for Muhlenberg on the Red Knight foul.
I think it's on Jeremiah Kamara. That's his first team second.
So Hemmings will inbound it against Hemmings, Miller, Armstrong, Kantner, and Killen for the Mules. Here's a three from Hemmings that's well off the mark and rebounded by the Red Knights. Rosario kicks it for Beatty. Xavier drives, lost the handle, but fouled. So it'll be a reach-in foul against the Mules, and it's going to be on Miller. So his first, team's second. And Reading High will now inbound underneath. 10-5 Red Knights on top. 4:49 left to go in the first. Samuel looking for somebody underneath. Tried to force it. Fortunate that it deflects to Rosario, and the Red Knights keep it. Rosario forces himself inside and finishes nicely with a left hand.
Very, very nice move by Wesley.
And that quickly, Muhlenberg scores on the other end to get the bucket in transition, makes it a 12-7 game as the Mules beat the Red Knights back up the floor. 12-7 our score. Mules fall back in a 2-3 zone defense. Kamara from distance is well off the mark. Rebounded for a moment by DeCastro, but taken away. The Mules have it back. Kantner wants to push it. Dade Kantner in the open floor. Euro step, finished, no. Rebounded by Rosario. Back come the Red Knights. Rosario to the foul line. Another find underneath for DeCastro for two.
Wesley Rosario has controlled this game, the first 4 minutes of it. He probably has 3 or 4 assists and a basket.
They're going to take a timeout with the Mules in a little bit of an early trouble. No, I thought they were taking a timeout. It's just a substitution. Jeff Collado will check into the game for the Mules. Both coaches brought their teams over to the bench, and I assumed it was a timeout.
I was kind of pointing you to go to break.
Amari Allen, a 5'10 senior, also into the game for the Mules, along with Collado. Step back three for Killen is off the mark. Battle for the rebound, and a collision between Collado and DeCastro is going to result in a foul called, I believe, against the Mules. It is on Collado. His first, team's third. And quickly up the floor for DeCastro. Puts up the off-balance two and buried it.
Wow. He's already have 6 points and has a looks like he has a great shooting touch.
Mules force it inside, but they travel in the process. Kantner lost his balance, ended up on his backside underneath and traveled with it. 16-7 start for Reading High with 3:29 still left to go in the first quarter, and the Red Knights have it back. Mules come out of that 2-2-1 now, going full court man with Mari Allen guarding Rosario. Crossover dribble to the foul line, looks inside again for DeCastro, forces his way, but Killen blocked it, deflected out to Samuel. His kiss off the glass is no good, doesn't matter. Offensive foul called against Khalil Samuel. It'll be his first, Reading High's third, and more importantly for the Mules, they get the basketball back.
Reading full court pressure here. Man to man.
Hemmings, Allen, Kantner, Collado, and Killen, the five on the floor for the Mules. Killen had the first three. Kantner has yet to score. Gives it up for Hemmings. Posting up is Killen. Skip pass to the corner, and one more out top for Kantner, who drives. Tomorrow tried to draw the offensive. Kantner can't finish. Gets his own rebound on the deflection, and Muhlenburg had a chance to reset, but DeCastro took away the outlet pass. Drives, scored, and gets fouled.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is the first time we're seeing Justin DeCastro. He's pretty darn good.
Yeah, he is making his presence known on this floor. Again, he had 21 in the win over McCaskey on Tuesday, but getting it done here on both ends of the floor and drawing a foul in the process that will send him to the line for a three-point play chance for the Mules.
It's on Jeffrey Collado. That's his second, team fourth on the Mules.
Ezra Jackson into the game for the Red Knights. 6'2 senior checking in with DeCastro at the free throw line, and he makes the foul shot. 9 first quarter points, and now here is the timeout we were expecting for the Mules a moment ago. They'll take it with still 2:41 left to go in the first quarter. We're back to Lauderdale right after this on WEEU in Reading.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away. Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers
on the weak side by Eli Hemmings, and the Mules have it back. Killens up the floor. Kantner from three in the corner. No. Deflected right back to Collado and foul. So the Mules do a little bit better job after that timeout on the boards on both ends. And Collado will end up at the free throw line on the foul.
I think that was on Wesley Rosario. Yes, it was. That's his first, team fourth.
So Collado will shoot 2 for the Mules. His first free throw comes up short. Substitution into the game for Reading High comes Jameer Jacob. 6'3" sophomore will check in, gives them a little physicality inside. Played on the Red Knight football team. He will come in, and DeCastro will take a well-deserved breather. 6'3" sophomore off to a blistering start with 9 of the Red Knights' 19. Collato's second free throw is good for his first point. So it's 19-10 as the Mules have scored the first 3 since the timeout. Michael Miller now will check back in for Muhlenberg. Also into the game for the Mules comes Jaden Perez, 6'3" junior. So it's Perez, Cantner, Miller, Killen, who steals the inbounds and misses the shot but gets fouled. Shamar Killen took away the inbounds pass, and he's going to end up at the free throw line.
Samuel lost control of the ball. The ball came into play. Killen grabbed it, stole it, went to the basket, and got fouled.
That's going to be Samuel's second. It's also the 5th against the Red Knights. So Muhlenberg will be in the bonus the rest of this period. Again, the rule change in high school basketball last season. 5 fouls in a quarter. You put your opponent at the free throw line to shoot 2 for the remainder of that quarter. You go to quarter number 2 and you start clean with 0 fouls. Samuel will come out with that second foul. Into the game for the Red Knights comes Nelson Malave, another sophomore. Starts actually on the JV team, but will all be a part of the rotation off the bench as well. He had 10 against McCaskey on Tuesday night as Killen makes the first of 2 free throws. First points for Killen since early on in the ball game. And the Mules look to continue their run, and they do. And they've climbed to within 7 now at 19-12. It's a 5-0 run for Muhlenberg with 2 minutes to go in the first.
Killen guarding Rosario. That's an interesting matchup. Rosario might have an edge with his quickness.
And Killen already has a foul in the books. Off the screen, Rosario for 3. No. And over the back goes Ezra Jackson, and it's going to be a foul, I believe. No, I think they're going to call it. Are they going to call this on Reading High?
It's going to be on Muhlenberg. Or no.
Yeah, it's on Jackson.
It's
I thought
on
it was
Jackson.
on Jackson
Yeah,
over the top. But the way the Red Knights reacted, I thought perhaps they were going to say he was.
I think it's 1-1
box
too.
out. Yeah, it
should be 1-1.
Ezra Jackson gets called for his first personal. And as Rich said, that's the 5th. And we will shoot 2.
I'm sorry, not 1-1,
Yep.
2. Yes.
So the other side of the floor,
Not sure
Muhlenberg
who
has
got
a
fouled.
Now that's the question. Who's ever boxing out second?
It looks like
Michael
Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Miller.
Michael Miller is at the free throw line, awaiting the opportunity to shoot 2. So ever since that timeout called by Matt Flowers, the Mules have kickstarted things a little bit. That's when this 5-0 run began, and now a chance for Miller to add on to it. Sold out gym here in Muhlenberg. It's been sold out tickets for the last couple of days in anticipation of this matchup, as Miller missed the first of 2. Eli Hemmings will now check back in for the Mules. So too will Justin Armstrong. So Matt Flowers has his starting 5 back on the floor now, and Hemmings, Cantner, Armstrong, Miller, and Killen. Second free throw by Miller is good. 3 first-quarter points for Michael Miller makes it a 19-13 game. And here comes the full-court man-to-man now for the Mules. Rosario will clear it out. He'll take it himself. Junior point guard always pointing people in directions. Swings it back from Malavi, and now back to Rosario, and they'll reset. To the high post, they kick it for Jacob, who forces his way inside, misses it. Rebounded by Killen. Allen passes a beauty to Hemmings and missed the bucket. And back the other way comes Rosario. Rosario from one end of the bounce pass. Jacob, and count the bucket and a foul.
And another assist by Wesley Rosario. Terrific vision by the Reading High point guard.
So Jacob gets his first point of the game, and now a chance to add to it. And the foul, I believe, will be called against Miller. It is, so it's his second. And so Jacob will shoot at the free throw line to finish off a 3-point play possibility again for the Red Knights. Cantner now comes out, and Jaden Perez back in, and Jacob makes the free throw. 22-13 now the score. That ends the 6-0 run for the Mules with 1:10 to go here in the first. Killen being guarded by Beatty. Now on the switch, Armstrong is facing Xavier Beatty. And he's going to beat him off the dribble. Drives inside, and a foul beforehand. That's going to put him on the line. They are over the bonus. It's going to be a 2-shot foul coming up.
And it's going to be the second foul on Xavier Beatty.
Yeah, we talked at the pregame about the courage of one as Justin Armstrong. Xavier Beatty, they realized it, though, on the mismatch. Like, I got this guy guarding me. I'm going to beat him off the dribble, and he did. And Beatty ultimately fouled him. And so Armstrong now will shoot 2 in the double bonus. Armstrong had 13, a career high in the win over Holy Redeemer in the first game of the season. He misses the first of 2. Now Beatty out with that second foul. And back into the game comes Justin DeCastro. As Armstrong at the line to shoot a second. And misses that as well. Gets his own rebound, back up with it. Missed it. Killen's follow is home.
Great reaction by Armstrong and Killen. Killen finishes.
7-point game again in favor of the Red Knights. 22-15 inside of 50 seconds to go in the quarter. Dump it inside for DeCastro. Clears himself some space and gets the bucket.
Great look inside by Jacob.
Double figures in the first quarter for sophomore Justin DeCastro. 24-15 our score with 30 seconds to go in the first. Muhls with 25 to the corner. Miller's going to spot up for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Jacob. Outlet pass up ahead for DeCastro. Red Knights in the full court. Euro step is a layup for DeCastro.
Faked out a defender completely.
Double-digit lead for the Red Knights unless the Muhls can score before the end of the first. Armstrong, long 3 from the top, buried it.
He is fearless.
And a huge bucket.
We got something.
Oh, at the end, a little...
Wait, there's still time on the clock.
Yeah, there's still 0.7 of a second left to go. The Red Knights, I think, thought the quarter was
technical
over.
foul on.
I believe this is going to be on Jacob. That's who had the ball in his hands. So this is a golden opportunity here for Muhlenberg after the 3 by Armstrong.
No, it's against. I think it's against Muhlenberg.
Oh, it is. So there was something going on after the shot was made.
May have been, I'm trying to think of the number here, Bob, but I think Jim Murray said it was 25. It might have been on Collado. But he called it right away.
So at the line is Jeremiah Kamara shooting the free throw, and he makes...
That's who it's on. It's on Collado. That's his 3rd.
So that's the composure that the coaches were talking about before the game, and it's going to give Kamara a chance at the free throw line on the 2 technical foul shots and the chance for the Red Knights.
You know, Armstrong hit a nice bucket, a 3. It looked like it was going to end the quarter and, build a little bit of momentum for the Mules. Now, Reading has a chance to turn this into a 4 or 5 point play.
Right, 0.7 of a second left to go. Gives the chance for the Red Knights to get a shot off here before the end of this first quarter. Couple of substitutions each way. Getting some offense and defensive substitution on the floor. Rosario will be the inbounder from half court with 0.7 left to go in the first quarter. To the top, Malave, catch and shoot. Good if it goes. It does not. And that will bring the first quarter to an end. A great one for the Red Knights. They put up 31 against McCaskey on Tuesday in the first quarter. They're close to that here. 28-18 after 1. Second quarter from Lauderdale. We're coming back after this on WEEU in Reading.
Is this the extension cord for the snowman or the extension cord for the Christmas tree?
That's the extension cord for the twinkly lights on the roof. I taped them all together so they'd reach.
I'm worried we're going to strangle a reindeer here.
Can I be of service?
DHL Bowman Bowman.
When you're at your wit's end, when you have more decorations to plug in than you have plugs to plug into, one man will be by your side, fighting for truth, justice, and the holiday spirit.
DHL Bowman Bowman.
Hey, a Christmas arrow. How seasonal.
Can you help us get all this plugged in?
I can, ma'am. The expert electricians at H.L. Bowman can add new outlets in the places you need them to make your holiday decorating simpler and safer.
Oh, look, Mr. Bowman. Here's that sprig of mistletoe I was looking for.
All right, Mildred. That's enough eggnog for you.
DHL Bowman Bowman.
Visit hlbowman.com.
Welcome back to Muhlenberg High School alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. High school basketball on WEU. Don't forget, if you haven't found it yet or if your friends haven't found it yet, first of all, shame them a little bit and then tell them they can watch all of our coverage for free at 8:30. WEU Sports on our YouTube channel. One of the people we shamed on that tonight was Rick Perez, who wasn't aware of it, felt bad about it, so we made him feel even worse. That's just the way we spread our love. We start the second quarter with the Mules trailing the Red Knights 28-18. And Reading high with a basketball. Rosario, baseline, try to kick it back, taken away by Shamar Killen. The Red Knights start with a turnover. Killen up ahead for Miller. Corner, 3. Allen, in and out. Rebounded by Killen again in the offensive
Killen
glass.
always seems to be in the right spot.
Put back by Shamar Killen makes it 28-29 for Shamar Killen. Jeremiah Kamara, quiet first quarter, trying to change that in the second. No, and Killen pulls down a defensive rebound. Outlet up ahead for Amari Allen. Goes right at Kamara and scores.
That time, Muhlenburg beat the Reading out up the floor. Muhlenburg almost forced another turnover. Red Knights ball.
28-22, the Mules down by 11 late in the first quarter. Now have it to a 6-point game. And almost, as Rich said, came up with a steal. Mari Allen seeing some extended time in this ball game for the Mules. Just scored, and now he's guarding Rosario. To the corner for Kenyon Sheriff, who just checked in the game for the Red Knights. Along with Camaro, Rosario,
Hutchinson in the game for the Mules.
And Malave as well in for the Red Knights. Dump off by Sheriff inside, stripped away from DeCastro, taken away by Kantner. Up ahead for Miller, strong to the glass, too strong with the shot. Rebounded by Malave. Miller shaken up on the floor a little bit, slow to get back up. The Red Knights have a man advantage. Rosario bumped and fouled.
It's going to be on Kantner, his first, team first.
Then starting the second quarter with a fresh set of 5 fouls. And will not be a shooting foul for the Red Knights. Miller shaken up, as he said before, did get back up, but still a little banged up, and he will come out of the game now. And into the game for the first time comes Javier Hutchinson, 6'4" senior, checks in. Rosario from the right wing. Backdoor cut for Malave. Hutchinson at 6'4" in his face. Comes up with a partial block, and the Mules come up with a basketball. Kantner across half court. Killen. Kick out. Allen fakes the 3. Squares up for the 2. No. Deflected and rebounded by Kamara, who wants to go with it. Jeremiah in the open floor, one end to the other, missed it. Deflected out. Long ball out top, and Sheriff runs it down. Skip pass for Malave. Open for a jumper. Yes. Nelson Malave with his first points makes it an 8-point Reading High lead again with 6 minutes to go in the half. 30-22. Jaden Kantner and Shamar Killen play catch with it. From the right side, Killen drives into the paint. Bounce pass for Hutchinson. Up and no good. And rebounded by Sheriff on the other side for the Red Knights.
Bob, if you blink, you're going to miss something. Francis Kamara getting in the ear of Jim Murray about something.
Kamara, Jeremiah drives inside, kicks it out for Sheriff. Thought about the 3, gives it up for Malave instead, who scored the last field goal for the Red Knights. Sophomore swings around, but it's deflected by Hemmings. Another sophomore with the hands. Ran out of real estate. It'll stay Reading High basketball. So it's Rosario Kamara along with Sheriff, DeCastro, and Malave on the floor for Reading High. Sheriff, the lone senior. Rosario Jr., the other 3 are sophomores. Rosario has it between the circles. Calls Kamara out, but takes it himself. Wraparound pass to Castro. Two more.
Crazy penetration. Rosario dribbled past Killen, then flipped it almost sideways to DeCastro for the layup.
Reading High will call a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here with the Red Knights back up on top by 10. Come visit your favorite spot in Laureldale at Shirley's Cafe and Tequila Bar. You know you're hungry, and Shirley's has you covered with nightly food and drink specials, including a wing special for Sunday football games from noon until 10 p.m. Come check out the great service and fun atmosphere at Shirley's Cafe for lunch and dinner any day of the week. 10-point advantage, and Justin DeCastro, who's had some great feeds from Wesley Rosario, but the sophomore DeCastro has 15 of Reading High's 32 points.
Yeah, he transferred about a year and a half ago, moved here from the Dominican Republic, and Francis Kamara told us before the game he's a player.
Yeah.
Well, he was right.
Yeah.
Because what we've seen so far in less than a quarter and a half, he's very, very impressive. You know, a few years ago, Reading High got helped by a transfer from Latin America, Yadiel Cruz.
From the Dominican Republic.
And helped them a lot the last 2 seasons. DeCastro looks just as good. A little different kind of player, but very talented.
Kantner gives it up for Killen with the Mules with the basketball following the Reading High timeout. 5 minutes to go in the half. Reading High on top by 10. Their largest lead was 11. Kantner drives in, tied up by Camaro, jump ball. They'll go to the possession arrow. It'll stay Muhlenburg basketball. With that, Cameron Jones, 6-foot freshman, will check into the game. And Jeremiah Camaro will come out. Inbounds underneath. Hemming the inbounder out to the half-court spot to Kantner. Guarded now by Kenyon Sheriff with Kamara out of the game. Kantner out to Hemmings, who's been quiet so far. Trying to go one-on-one against the freshman. Drives and an offensive foul as Hemmings got that elbow flailing out a little bit. Caught the elbow, outs. Jones takes the offensive charge.
It's his second, team second. It looked like he had a good angle, like he brushed alongside, but he extended his elbow, as Bob said, and gets called for the charge.
It's maybe a little bit of a frustration foul on the part of the sophomore. He'll come out, and Jaden Perez will check in. Now here comes Justin Armstrong back into the game. Also into the game for Reading High comes Jameer Jacob. Mules with the full court pressure defense, man-to-man. They'll clear everybody out with the Red Knights and let Wesley Rosario take it up the floor. Rosario with just 2 points, but a ton of assists early on in this one. Drives off the screen to the bucket, off balance. Yes, and a foul.
Wow. Yeah, he is controlling and dominating this game so far.
The one thing that Wesley Rosario struggled with controlling last year was not the game, but his emotions. There were times when his emotions got the best of him. So far, we're only a quarter and a half into this emotional game, but he has been very composed so far through all of it, and that is what Francis Camaro is hoping and thinking he's going to get from Wesley Rosario for the future.
Yeah, he looks completely poised tonight, completely in charge, directing his teammates on both ends of the floor.
His three-point play gives the Red Knights their largest lead at 35-22. 5 in the game now for Rosario. Posting up down low is Killen, and over the back is the foul called against DeCastro. They got the size, physicality inside of Shamar Killen, and a mismatch is going to result in a foul on DeCastro. His first and the Red Knights' first. Sheriff now will come out, and Khalil Samuel will come back in. Muhlenburg will inbound underneath their own bucket. They look for Armstrong, kick out for Perez. Great find inside Miller, up through traffic, no. Rebounded by DeCastro and Reading High. Rosario, backdoor look for DeCastro, lost the handle, picks it up, and lays it in.
Another assist for Wesley Rosario, and another basket for Justin DeCastro.
Yeah, the Mules kind of gave up on it a little bit.
Did.
DeCastro ended up with an easy bucket. That will not make the head coach real happy. With 3:40 to go in the half, it's a 37-22 Reading High lead. Killen, skip pass, corner three, Kantner's an air ball, and into the hands of Rosario. Red Knights back the other way, bounce pass to no one. DeCastro stopped running on it, and it goes out of bounds, turnover Red Knights.
Yeah, that may be not used to playing together so much, but Rosario was throwing the ball ahead of DeCastro, who just stopped.
3:25 left to go in the half, 37-22. Red Knights on top, Mules with the basketball. Armstrong, the sophomore, tries for the wraparound pass, but he's tied up in the paint. Possession arrow will give it now to the Red Knights. Turnover Mules.
Muhlenburg is trying to attacking the basket. The Mules just can't finish. They're not trying a lot of outside shots. It's not like they're settling. They just can't finish inside, and give that credit to the Reading High defense.
Rosario brings it across half court with the Red Knights on top by 15. Off the screen, Rosario dumps it again for DeCastro, but a foul before that. They're going to call the offensive, I believe, on Rosario on the drive.
Yes. Yep. And that's his second.
Team's second.
It'd be interesting to see. I think Francis Camara can't afford to take him out of the game, even though they're up 15. I don't think he wants to do that. Well, yeah. I'm wrong.
No, I think I think you said the magic word. Yeah, no, because of the 15-point advantage. It's a 5-point game. I think you're right. But I think he's just figuring he can at least bide himself some time with 3:08 left to go in the half and a 15-point advantage. See if the Mules can take advantage of the Rosario not on the floor.
And let's see who handles the ball for the Red Knights. I'm going to guess Jeremiah Camaro.
Killen will take it across half court now for the Mules, guarded by Jeremiah Camaro inside of 3 minutes to go in the half.
Miller from the high post gives it up for Killen, who drives, and a foul beforehand. Kamara tried to draw the charge, but no.
I like that call.
I absolutely
I thought that
liked
was
it.
a flop.
Yeah, it was. It was most definitely a flop.
Yeah.
And so it'll be on Jeremiah Kamara. That'll be his second. Yep.
Yeah.
The personal fouls are starting to pile up in this one. His dad's lobbying for the son, but the official has got the call right. There's no doubt about it. Jamar Killen's trying to say I should be shooting 2 shots. That's not going to happen either.
That's not happening.
It's a lot of lawyers on this.
Yeah, a lot of pleading their case, Bob.
Let's just call them pre-law.
And there are some assistant coaches doing that as well.
So the Mules will inbound underneath their bucket. Again, they're down by 13. Perez, backdoor cut for Killen, it is 2.
Good look by Jaden Perez into Killen, who's keeping the Mules in this single-handedly.
He's got 11 of the Mules' 26, 37-26 Reading High. And here's a strip. Cantor comes up with a steal, and a reach-in foul by Jacob is going to stop the play. And the Reading High Red Knights with another turnover as Jane Cantor steals it away from Jacob. Now Hemmings back in for Muhlenberg and Miller out. Also back into the game for the Mules is Amari Allen. Muhlenberg with the basketball, down by 11.
Bob, that's without Rosario. Reading turned it over there on its first possession. It's going to be interesting to watch how they navigate these last 2:15.
Hemmings with a quick 3-shot, not good. Oh, Amari Allen fighting for it, takes it back. Kick out, Perez, yes! Huge play by Amari Allen to keep it alive.
Amari Allen has given the Mules a little bit of a spark off the bench. He was guarding Rosario earlier, giving him a little bit of trouble. Nice look there to Jaden Perez for the 3.
A 7-0 run by the Mules has it back to single digits with 1:45 to go in the half. Kamara, skip pass, long 3 for the Red Knights by Sheriff. No, rebounded by Jacob, blocked from behind by Killen. Picked up by DeCastro, tied up by Perez. Jump ball, and whose possession is it? And again, here's the emotions we're talking about. And Jaden Perez, who of course is Rick's son, knows these kids as well as anybody, and he's doing a little talking after he made the big play. And everybody calming everybody down. It's Muhlenberg basketball.
That's what's so great about these Muhlenberg Reading games. These kids all
Absolutely,
know each other so
do.
well. And guess what? They want to beat them worse than anybody else.
37-29. The Mules have it back now, down by 8. We're down by as many as 15 with a minute and a half to go and a chance to cut into it. Killen again on the post up. Guarded by Sheriff. Kick out. Cantner fakes the 3, drives into the paint. Left hand finish for 2.
You know, it's down to 6, Bob. The lead was 17 when Wesley Rosario left the game. That is not a coincidence.
We said how long would Francis Kamara gamble. So far, he's staying that way with a minute to go. Jeremiah Kamara pulls up foul line jumper. No. Deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Red Knights.
Yeah, that's the right call. And here comes Xavier Beatty back in. But I think Wesley's lead. He's pacing too.
Yeah.
He's pacing. He wants back in.
He might have to go out in the hallway if he gets any further out. He's going crazy on the sideline.
He wants back in, but I think Francis is holding him out for the rest of the half.
They might need a seatbelt on Wesley
really.
Rosario. With a minute to go, the Mules have it back, down by 6.
And honestly, with the way he was playing, I don't blame him.
37-31 Reading. Muhlenberg across half court. Killen, season opening, drives, kicks. Allen for 3, no. Deflected, still loose on the floor. Killen comes up with it and a putback and a foul. Jamar Killen again, right place, right time on the deflection.
It's amazing. It is amazing where he is.
And the foul called is on DeCastro. That'll be his second. Red Knights 4th, but more importantly, it's Killen at the line now for a 3-point play to get this potentially to a 3-point game.
There are 5, and here comes Wesley Rosario back in the game with 38 seconds left in the half. 5 Reading players have 2 fouls apiece.
So I would think, Rich, that regardless of what happens once Reading gets the ball back, the idea for Francis Kamara now is to hold.
Absolutely.
Hold for one shot with the ball in the hands of Rosario. So, he doesn't pick up a foul, and the Red Knights can go to the locker room and hold off Muhlenberg, who has climbed big time back into this now at a 3-point game, 37-34. in the hands of Rosario with 35 on the clock.
Is it possible for Reading to slow it down? That's the question. Can they slow it down?
Rosario puts up the finger to say one shot. He's going to dribble at half court, guarded by Allen. The Wolves have a foul to give with 20 seconds to go in the half.
Might be Allen, too. Allen doesn't have a foul. It might be him giving it.
Rosario gives it up for Kamara, who gives it right back with 12 seconds on the clock.
This is going to be a penetration by Rosario.
With 6.
No doubt about it.
Here he goes with 5. Step back, tough 3 is well short and rebounded by the Mules, who will go to the locker room down, but feeling pretty good about the situation. They were down by 15 points. They, however, scored the last 12 of the first half. After 2 quarters, Muhlenburg trails Reading High 37-34. We'll take a timeout. More high school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group on WEEU in Reading after this.
Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's Rewards Program. Purchase select items at Redner's and unlock big savings on groceries and fuel. Redeem your points in-store and fill your shopping cart with fantastic deals like buy 3, get the 4th free. Save on fuel, too. Enjoy discounts at Redner's Quick Stop, Speedway, and many other locations. Get 5 cents off per gallon for every $50 spent. Plus, discover tons of special offers, digital deals, and surprise savings available to rewards customers. Start saving today. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Doors. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers a welcoming, comfortable stay for the business or leisure traveler, providing clean and cozy rooms at a reasonable price. Conveniently located at the intersection of Route 12 and North 5th Street in Reading, Sure Stay Plus provides a fresh, hot breakfast buffet, all-day coffee, free fast Wi-Fi, HD TV, fridge and microwave, and much more. Plus, business travelers have access to services such as copying and a meeting space. Call 610-371-0500 to book your stay or visit bestwestern.com.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's potato chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his kitchen in Berks County into the ultimate snack factory. Now, 60 years later, we're still crafting our chips with the same passion and the finest ingredients, right where it all began. Diefenbach's potato chips, available in all your favorite flavors when you need that PA-crafted crunch.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as their name. Reading High Red Knights, Muhlenburg Muhls as advertised through the first 2 quarters of basketball. And in the end of those 2 quarters, the score is a 3-point Reading High lead at 37-34. But a whole lot more, of course, as part of that story. And that was the Red Knights looked to be in control of this basketball game at a couple different junctures, but Muhlenburg made a run each and every time that happened. None more specifically than what happened at the end of the second quarter. Reading High jumped out to a 37-22 advantage, but the Mules end up on a 12-0 run to finish the quarter and make it a 3-point game. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. And, Rich, I think that's what it boils down to. After 16 minutes, this is every bit as what we expected. Big crowd, great emotion, lots of up and down the floor, and a tight ball game.
So tonight, we saw a team take a 15-point first-half lead. Monday night, we saw a team take two 17-point leads, but Muhlenburg has closed the gap a lot quicker than Wilson did. Wilson used the first 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter to get back in the game against Berks Catholic. Muhlenburg's back in this game. There's no doubt about it. And they took advantage of Wesley Rosario's absence because he is the head of their snake. And with him on the bench with 2 fouls, Reading really looked, honestly, did not look the same team. Did not look like the same team in that second quarter, the last, whatever it was, 4 minutes or so.
And it gets back to what we started in our pregame show talking about with Reading High, when in the first 2 games of the season against Coatesville and Father Judge, they scored a combined 72 points in those two games, 35 against Coatesville, 37 against Father Judge. Wesley Rosario was unable to go in those two games, battling through a foot injury. Healthy again for the third game, and they put 78 up against Hazleton. Unfortunately, they came up on the short end of that, but then they come back with 83 points against McCaskey on Tuesday night. And then kidding with Francis Kamara before the game, I'm like, I know Wesley Rosario is good, but I don't think he's 50 points better. But maybe he is. I mean, he's just it's just his presence on the floor. It's not what he does scoring with the basketball. He got 5 points at halftime. It's everything else that he does on the floor. And, oh, yeah, he can score a little bit too.
They have 15 field goals, and I'm going to guess here, because I'm only tracking shots, that he's got at least 6 or 7 assists on those 14 baskets.
Yeah, and the scorer of a good chunk of those is Justin DeCastro. Again, Rich kind of gave me the story during the second quarter. Justin DeCastro last year was going to be on the JV team. It didn't work out. He ended up playing on the 9th grade team, and that's why we weren't aware of him before tonight's game. But his story is that he is here, and he is a part of the Reading High basketball team here in 2024 and going into 2025, just a 10th grader. But, boy, is he starting to make his presence known for the Red Knights. Their last 3 games, he has scored in double figures, now 4 straight games, because he's got 17 in the first half of this one.
Yeah, he is a different player than Yadiel Cruz was the last 2 seasons for Reading High. Yadiel was such a gifted rebounder and so good, especially on the offensive glass, and it scored a lot of his points inside. Justin DeCastro looks like he can shoot the basketball and can go to the basket both. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to him on defense, but what I've seen is he is really, really skilled on offense.
And then on the flip side, it's Muhlenburg, and they're led, not surprisingly, by Shamar Killen at halftime. And when we talked with Matt Flowers at the beginning of last year about the development of Shamar Killen, again, kind of came out of nowhere going into last season and started to have some good games early on. And Matt Flowers is telling us that he knew that it was there, but Shamar Killen had to grow up a little bit, had to get tougher, had to get better shape to be able to play at the level of what Matt Flowers wanted him to do. And once that started to happen, Shamar Killen became a prominent scorer in Berks County last year, was among the top 10 scorers in the county a year ago. But Matt Flowers always described his game as playing downhill. He hasn't really done a whole lot of this one. He's posted up, and he has been there for each and every deflection and offensive rebound at the right place at the right time every time.
That's the thing that struck me about him last year is that, he's in the right place at the right time all the time. It's amazing how many loose balls he's gotten around the basket, probably 3 this half in the first half, and he converted them into baskets. He's so strong. He's been given the task of trying to guard Wesley Rosario. He's giving up some speed, and I guess Matt Flowers is thinking maybe he could be physical with him and bump him off the basketball a little bit, but, give Shamar Killen credit. He really, for a long time, kept Muhlenburg within striking distance this first half.
And Francis Kamara was able to nurse his team through some foul troubles in that first half with some players picking up 2 fouls. And a lot of coaches like to get players off the floor once they pick up that second, and that's what he had to do with Wesley Rosario. And it certainly helped Muhlenburg's cause because that's when the Mules went on the run to finish off that second quarter and change the complexion of this game as we get set to start the second half. We'll do that when we come back to Lauraldale. The score at halftime, it is Reading High 37, Muhlenburg 34. More high school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group when we come back with more after this.
Is this the extension cord for the snowman or the extension cord for the Christmas tree?
That's the extension cord for the twinkly lights on the roof. I taped them all together so they'd reach.
I'm worried we're going to strangle a reindeer here.
Can I be of service?
DHL Bowman Bowman.
When you're at your wit's end, when you have more decorations to plug in than you have plugs to plug into, one man will be by your side, fighting for truth, justice, and the holiday spirit.
DHL Bowman Bowman.
Hey, a Christmas arrow. How seasonal.
Can you help us get all this plugged in?
I can, ma'am. The expert electricians at H.L. Bowman can add new outlets in the places you need them to make your holiday decorating simpler and safer.
Oh, look, Mr. Bowman. Here's that sprig of mistletoe I was looking for.
All right, Mildred. That's enough eggnog for you.
DHL Bowman Bowman.
Visit hlbowman.com.
Welcome back to our Lincoln Plumbing and Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show. Here's the individual numbers in half number one. First for the Red Knights, we just mentioned Justin DeCastro with 17 first half points, the only player in double figures. Pretty good balance after that for the Red Knights with Wesley Rosario with 5. And again, a ton of assists to go along with it. 4 each for Jeremiah Kamara and Khalil Samuel. 3 for Jameer Jacob, and 2 each for Xavier Beatty and Nelson Malave. For the Mules, 14 for Shamar Killen. Only 1 in double figures, just 4 so far for Jaden Kantner. 3 each for Michael Miller, Justin Armstrong, and Jaden Perez. 2 each for Eli Hemmings and Amari Allen, and 1 for Jeff Collado and the Mules, total of 34. 37-34 in this one. Mules will have, Reading High will have a matchup with Berks Catholic coming your way on Tuesday night. We'll be there for that one. Again, Berks Catholic and Reading Tuesday night here on WEEU. And then Friday night, it'll be Reading High against Wilson in West Lawn. And then our final game before the Christmas break on Monday, December the 23rd, will be a great girls basketball matchup between perennial heavyweights, Berks Catholic and Wyomissing. They met last year in the county semifinal. Wyomissing eventually won the county championship last year, beating Wyomissing. And, of course, they, too, like Reading High, went on a long state playoff run. And with Amaya Stewart, the 2-time player of the year, back for the Wyomissing Spartans, we expect to have a great run for the Spartans again in 2025. And Berks Catholic as well, with the return of Madison Langdon and Sydney Collado, will be a factor in the girls' league chase. We'll have the Wyomissing Spartans playing host to the Berks Catholic girls on Monday, December 23rd. Set to start half number 2 for the Red Knights. It'll be Khalil Samuel, Wesley Rosario, Justin DeCastro, Jeremiah Kamara, and Xavier Beatty, the same way that Francis Kamara started this game. For the Mules, it'll be Eli Hemming, Shamar Killen, Jaden Kantner, Michael Miller, and starting the second half will be Amari Allen, who gave the Mules some great minutes in the first half. Matt Flowers said that. He said, at halftime, we'll make it. And the guys who gave us the best minutes in the first half, that's who start in the second half. And the Mules' defense forces a turnover on the Red Knights' first possession.
An entry pass on the sideline. Red Knight players stepped out of bounds.
Turnovers are relatively low in this one, especially considering the pace.
Yeah, I'll say.
Skip around. Kantner had the 3, decided not to take it, drives it instead at Rosario, no good. Amari Allen comes up with a rebound. Killen inside, Michael Miller for 2.
Great look by Shamir Killen, another facet of his game.
37-36, the run continues for the Mules, who have pulled it to within 1. They have never led this game. Reading High scored the first 4. Samuel in the corner, looks for the back door, not there. Dangerous pass, deflected and taken away by Michael Miller. The Mules with a chance. Kantner 3, no, up the top of the board. Rebounded by Xavier Beatty, outlet, Rosario, and one more to
another
Jeremiah Kamara.
Another assist for Wesley Rosario in transition this time.
Kamara has 6. The Red Knight lead is 3. So the Mules had their first chance to take the lead, came up empty. Here's Killen, drive, kick, Hemming 3, no. Weak side rebound, Miller couldn't control it. It's Reading High basketball. We're a minute 15 seconds into the third quarter. Score a 3-point Reading High advantage at 39-36. Long entry pass up ahead for DeCastro. For Beatty, blocked by Hemmings.
Wow.
Eli Hemmings with a big-time block, and he controls the rebound.
We know how high Beatty can leap. Hemmings got up there as well.
Amari Allen around Samuel with a shot. No good. Samuel has the rebound. Up ahead for DeCastro. Wasn't expecting it. Now he drives inside. Lost the handle, stripped away by Miller. Loose on the floor, turnover Red Knights. Kantner thought about the 3, goes baseline instead. Up, no, partially blocked by Beatty. Beatty in the open floor for DeCastro, who will wait for help, but he'll stripped away momentarily and taken away. 4 turnovers for the Red Knights. Up ahead, Killen for 2.
I'll tell you, these possessions are about 8 or 9 seconds. That's about it.
Yep.
End-to-end action.
Beatty up ahead for DeCastro. This is why I laugh when people say high school basketball needs a shot clock. Rosario drives.
Oh,
yes!
That's pretty move by Wesley.
Euro step move for the finish for Rosario. He's got 7. 41-38. Red Knight lead is 3 again. 5:35 left to go in the third. Killen, guarded by Samuel, off the screen, out high from Cantner. Gives it up instead, high post for Miller. Killen on the post up, down low. Touch shot, nobody's fouled. Shamar Killen knew he had gotten the bump and just put it up on the rim and almost got it to go.
That's a really nice entry pass by Eli Hemmings.
Foul is going to be called on Jeremiah Kamara. That's his third. So Reading High's got 4 points and 4 turnovers so far here in this third quarter. And Shamar Killen's back at the free throw line for the Mules. He's 4 for 4 on the night. And now make it 5 for 5.
Nelson Malave coming into the game for Kamara.
Jeremiah just picking up that third foul.
Yeah.
Red Knights look like they're checking the scores table. As maybe they didn't think they don't have, if Jeremiah doesn't think it's 3. So they check and find out that it is indeed 3 fouls. 2 at the free throw line for Killen. He's got 18, and the Mules again are within 1. 41-40. 5:20 left to go in the third. Malave now taking it up the floor. As Rosario's in the far corner. Now it's off the foot of a Red Knight. Turnover again for Reading High.
It's 6 the whole first half.
Yes.
They already have 5 here in the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the third quarter.
Malave showing his youth now, saying it was not off his leg and jawing a little bit. And the Red Knights kind of separate everybody. Now the officials are they inbounded it before the officials had set the ball for play is basically what happened. So it is Muhlenburg basketball.
Oh, no, now
they're reversing it.
Kevin Line has changed
they
the call.
discussed it for a bit and ultimately decided to change it back that it was off the leg last of a Mule. So it is Reading High basketball. Now Rosario has it. Guarded by Amari Allen. To the corner for Samuel, who drives baseline. No, wave it off. It's an offensive foul.
Yeah. Great take by Jaden Cantner underneath the basket. He was standing there for an hour.
So put the turnover back on there now for the Red Knights on the offensive foul. That'll be the third on Khalil Samuel. And here comes the full court pressure for the Red Knights. Just kind of a token look here. Muhlenburg no problem to get across half court. And now the Mules will set it up. They'll go from Hemmings inside for Miller and a travel. Miller thought he was going to get contact. Malave flopped. So now are they going to? They might change this.
It's a flop.
On the flop.
On the
Malave.
flop by Malave. Yes, they are.
Yep.
And a T on somebody. Not on Reading. Somebody with Reading. It wasn't with Muhlenburg.
So Matt Flowers is going to get his team over. And now Wesley Rosario is going to try to do the same on the floor.
Let's see what happened here. The flop. I'm not sure who the flop was on.
The flop was on Malave.
Malave, right?
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the technical was on.
Let's see who the T is on.
So Cantner shooting the technical. Makes 1 out of 2.
He's shooting again.
Oh,
He's shooting
I'm sorry.
number 2. He made the first.
He's shooting 2. So he's going to give a chance. Muhlenberg got a chance to take the lead here as a result of all of this. And, of course, Muhlenberg's going to get the ball back as well.
Missed the second.
So you're right. It remains tied at 41.
But it's still unclear who the T was on. I'm not entirely sure.
It must have been on Malave because they've got him with 2 fouls on the board. So he got the offense, the flop, and then must have objected to it, and that got them the T. So Muhlenberg has the basketball, Killen on the post up, deflected it right to Hemming for 2, and the Mules have the lead for the first time. Eli Hemmings off the deflection from Shamar Killen gives Muhlenberg a 43-41 lead with 4:35 left to go in the third. Kamara guarded by Cantner. Let's give it back for Rosario. Now swings it from left side to right. To the corner for Beatty. To the high post for DeCastro. Drives, spins. No, but a bump, a travel.
Wow, this has been an outstanding comeback by the Mules. Down 37-22. They have outscored the Red Knights 21-4 over the last, 7 or 8 minutes.
It's the turnover column that's eating the Red Knights alive here in this third. 6 turnovers, and we have not yet played half of the third quarter with 4:05 to go. Cantner, guarded by Kamara, backs him down. Poked away by Kamara. Loose ball on the floor and a timeout called by the Mules. Matt Flowers saw his offense kind of breaking down a little bit. He's going to call a timeout. We are halfway through the third, and we'll take a timeout as well. When we come back to Laureldale, Mules with the lead for the first time over Reading High, 43-41. High school basketball at WEEU Reading continues after this.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent is Cross Keys Insurance. Get a quote today at crosskeysins.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
One word comes to mind when you think of Latanzio sandwiches in Laureldale. Huge! That's right, their hoagies are filled to the brim with all your favorite deli meats. Ham, turkey, roast beef, and Italian, of course. Forget about taking a trip to Philly. They got cheesesteaks, burgers, Italian sausage, and meatball subs. If you're hungry, don't get fast food. Get real food from Latanzio, Agabish. 3226 Kutztown Road in Laureldale. Order on the phone 610-921-2324 or order online latanziosandwiches.com.
Reading High Red Knights once led this game by 15 points in the second quarter at 37-22. It is now 43-41, Muhlenburg on top. And following the Muhlenburg timeout, they'll have the basketball. Jaden Perez will check in at the stoppage for the Mules. He's in there along with Eli Hemmings, Michael Miller, Justin Armstrong also in, and Jaden Cantner. So Shamar Killen takes a breather here. Good ball movement, gets it to Miller, who drives inside, missed it. Tipped around, gets his own rebound, deflected away and taken away by DeCastro. Up ahead for Camaro, drives, blocked and fouled. So Jeremiah Camaro will shoot two for the Red Knights. Foul's going to be on Michael Miller. That'll be his third. And the first against the Mules here in this third quarter. Kamara with just 6 points so far in the ballgame. And line drives that free throw, comes up short. Jeremiah put up 20 in the Berks semifinal win last year against Muhlenberg, and a career high of 21 in game 3 of the season this year against Hazleton. Olave now back into the game for Reading High, and Samuel out. As Kamara's second is good. So the 1 out of 2 makes it a 1-point Muhlenberg lead at 43-42.
It's funny how Muhlenberg tightened its defense, and it coincided with Rosario going to the bench with foul trouble in the second quarter. But in this quarter, they've cut off all that penetration.
Cantner trying to get that whistle against Rosario, comes up empty. Outlet pass for the Red Knights. Kamara to the bucket, no, but a foul.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
Armstrong and Kamara climbing in the air. The Red Knights are looking for a goaltending because Eli Hemmings slammed the backboard with his hands. So the Red Knights are looking for a goaltending call, and there it is. Yep. They were right because Eli Hemmings slammed his hand on the backboard with the ball up in the air. So count the bucket for Kamara and the foul, which will be on Armstrong. And Kamara with a chance for the three-point play. He's already given the Red Knights the lead. And a chance to add to it if he can finish it off. And he makes the free throw. 45-43. Red Knights back up on top. 3:20 left in the third. Cantner again hounded by Kamara. Started to penetrate, then gives it back. Gives it up, swings it around. Perez catch and shoot three. Yes!
Jaden Perez showing a nice touch. His second three of the night.
We're tied 45-45.
Oh, another terrific pass. There it is. Rosario's first assist to Beatty. First assist of the half.
And that quickly, the Red Knights are right back up on top. 4 points for Beatty. And now a whistle. And this is simply a warning. They have been talking to both coaches about how far they have extended the coaches box. And we use that term loosely. And so it's simply a bench warning to the two coaches.
To both.
That may not mean much, but it's a warning, which means if they do it again, you can get teed up.
Yeah, I don't think this veteran crew is going to put up with much more,
No.
to tell you the truth. They put up with a lot so far.
So the Mules have it back. Apparently, I'm guessing, Rich. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. My math is wrong. 47-46 after the Perez 3.
Nice pass by
Canner.
Canner.
Killen 2. 20 for Shamar Killen, and the Mules are back up on top, 48-47. 2:30 left in the third. Kamara right at Cantner, clears himself some space, shot off the back iron. Rebounded by Armstrong and the Mules.
Muhlenburg wanted to travel. Reading wanted a foul.
Neither got their wish.
Neither got their wish. Let them play on.
Killen guarded by Beatty, wanted to penetrate, resets, drives again, off balance, nobody's fouled.
Absolutely, he was pumped.
So Shamar Killen just on the clear out, going right at Xavier Beatty, gets the contact, and will shoot 2.
He is a handful to try to stop going to the basket, because once he, as Matt says, once he starts going downhill, you don't want to get in front of him.
Foul is on Beatty, that's his third, and Killen shooting 2. He's also getting it done at the free throw line. He's now 7 for 7 at the line. He's a 70% shooter on the season, and he's only added that tonight. Mari Allen will check back in now at the stoppage for the Mules. And with Hemmings, Armstrong, Perez, and Killen, the 5 on the floor for Muhlenberg. Jaden Cantner will take a seat on the bench, and Killen makes them both. 22 now for Shamar Killen. And the Mule lead is 3, their largest, 50-47. Red Knights with the basketball. Looking inside, and could not handle it. Jacob, outlet pass up ahead. Hemmings couldn't handle it the other way. Turnover right back for Muhlenberg. Just the second in the quarter for Muhlenberg. Reading High, on the other hand, turning it over to the other side, has turned it over 7 times in this quarter. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the third. 1:56 to be exact. Reading High with the basketball. Muhlenberg with the lead.
Yeah, I was going to say, they got to put the ball in the hands of Wesley Rosario and let him settle things down for the Red Knights on offense, and that's what they're doing right now.
Defended by Amari Allen. Jacob sets the screen. Rosario drives. Dumps it down low. One extra pass taken away again. In the open floor. Killen, Euro step and a finish.
Shamar Killen can do it inside, outside, and in transition.
Muhlenberg lead is 5, and afterwards Killen shaken up on the play.
I'm not sure what happened.
Did not see it. Did
he scored?
He scored the bucket,
and then I guess he turned. And I didn't see what happened.
So Killen shaken up on the play and down on the floor after scoring his 23rd and 24th point of the game. I don't know if he rolled his ankle in the process or what happened. With 1:29 left to go in the third quarter, Reading High's deficit is now 5. Largest lead for Muhlenberg is this 5 points. But right now, concern
they're not
with Shamar Killen on the floor.
I was going to say they weren't looking at his leg. Now they are. Maybe it's a cramp. No.
Yeah, that is because they're giving him water. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it just
maybe
locked
just
up
when he
on him.
turned. Yeah.
Yep.
He just yep.
We've all felt it.
Oh boy.
And his question now is: this might be a spot where if you're Matt Flowers, you he's smiling as he comes to the bench.
Yeah.
You might want to just kind of leave him out now for the rest of this third. You got a 5-point lead.
Well, it's 90 seconds is an eternity here.
Correct, because then you got the stoppage.
That's
at the end of the
that's
quarter.
about 20 possessions in this game.
Yeah, but the reason I say that only is because you're trying to get it back in the game too fast, and then that cramp comes right back again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens because
I'm not a doctor. I just play one on the radio.
We weren't sure what Francis Camaro was going to do with Wesley Rosario.
Right.
He took him out, and that with Rosario out, Muhlenberg made its comeback.
Right.
Started its comeback. So here we go, Bob.
So Killen comes out. Eli Hemmings back in for Muhlenberg with a 5-point Muhlenberg advantage. Reading High with the basketball after the Killen bucket. Rosario off the crossover dribble. Got away with a palming violation. At least Matt Flowers thought he did. Goes the opposite way now on the screen. Drives. Blocked by Hemmings. In the open floor. Allen up ahead for Armstrong, drives and finishes.
Boy, he's so, for how small he is fearless in going to the basket.
All set up by the defense of Eli Hemmings with a block on the other side. And now a turnover in the
Rosario
inbound pass.
lost the pass. Yep.
So the Red Knights turn it over the 9th time in this third quarter. Again, Rich said 6 turnovers in the first half, 9 in this quarter, which still has 1 minute and 2 left in it. Reading High turnovers have led to a Muhlenburg now 7-point advantage.
It's a 32-10 run over the last quarter and a half.
And they stopped it because of the clock. The clock had a weird number on it.
Yeah.
They had hundredths of a second on it, and I think everybody was kind of frozen by it for a moment. Yep. So it's going to be Muhlenburg basketball, an official's timeout. 50.6 is what's left on the third quarter clock.
Here comes Shamir killing it back in.
Right. I think if Matt Flowers has his way, he's going to hold with the basketball here. But can you do that with 50 seconds left to go in this quarter?
Not with these two teams.
It's hard to do.
It's
a
really
tough ask.
No, I don't think they're holding. I think they're attacking. Let's see.
The lead is 7, 54-47.
Just spreading it.
Yep. And he fouled. The Red Knights have a couple fouls to give. Inside look for Hemmings on the cutter. Kicks it back for Kantner. And now with 30 seconds to go, Kantner will dribble back out towards half court. They're being patient. How patient will they be? 50 seconds on the inbounds. Kantner trying to get it away from Kamara, gives up to Hemming and gets it right back with now inside of 20 seconds in the third quarter.
You know this ball is going to find its way into Shamar Killen.
He now comes out. Now he goes back down to set up down low. It's to clock it down to 7 for Armstrong. Through traffic, off balance, throws it at the rim, and a whistle and a foul on the grab against Reading High. Will not be a shooting foul.
If this is on Kamara,
it is.
This is his 4th.
Pretty sure. It
says 3rd.
Yeah, well, remember they were checking at the book with the book at the table.
Huh. That's 5 team fouls.
It is 5 team fouls.
Yep, Armstrong's going to be at the line shooting 2. That's the 5th team foul of the quarter.
So Justin Armstrong shooting 2 at the line, 0 for 2 in the game at the free throw line. 3.3 left in the third quarter. This is the first. Jeffrey Collado is going to check back in now for the Mules for defense and get Jaden Perez out of the game.
And Jaden Kantner's coming out.
Kantner as well comes out. And Amari Allen back in with Armstrong at the line to shoot a second. And that is good. So it is a 8-point advantage. Rosario's pass hit the back of the backboard. He went for the home run pass, and he hit the bottom of the backboard with it. Muhlenberg's going to get it right back.
And here comes the offensive, the shift change.
55-47, and another mistake by the Red Knights gives it right back to Muhlenberg. Inbound, Kantner in the corner, trying to get the shot off. Good if it goes. It does not. But an excellent 8 minutes of basketball here in the third for Muhlenberg have reversed their fortunes. After 3, the score, Muhlenberg 55, Reading 47. Back with the final 8 in Laureldale after this.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's potato chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his kitchen in Berks County into the ultimate snack factory. Now, 60 years later, we're still crafting our chips with the same passion and the finest ingredients, right where it all began. Diefenbach's potato chips, available in all your favorite flavors when you need that PA-crafted crunch.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Doors. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
You're listening to high school basketball at 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. We get set to start the fourth quarter of basketball, and it's presented to you by Cross Keys Insurance, an independent insurance agency that can help you find the right policy for auto, home, business, or life insurance needs. With offices in both Reading and Hamburg, Cross Keys Insurance will be the key to your security. 55-47 alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. We start the fourth quarter. Muhlenburg has the basketball.
Bob, the third quarter illustrated one of the things that former Temple coach John Chaney used to teach. Don't turn it over, because if you turn it over, you can't get a shot off.
Hemmings shoots a three. No. Rebounded by Jaden Kantner. Another opportunity for Muhlenburg.
To illustrate that, Reading had 9 turnovers in the third quarter and only 7 shots.
And 10 points, and outscored 21-10 by Muhlenburg in the third. And it's an 8-point Mules advantage, and they've got the ball here to start the fourth. Armstrong, Perez, Kantner, Hemmings, and Miller, the 5 on the floor for Muhlenberg.
Yeah. And they don't. And Killen is on the bench, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem. I was just gonna say, it doesn't seem like the Mules are in any hurry.
Catch at the foul line. Armstrong, yes. Justin Armstrong buries the 15-foot jumper. Lead grows to 10 now for Muhlenberg. 57-47 Mules. A minute into the fourth. De Castro for Kamara along the baseline. Going to back down Armstrong. Up with a little baby hook. No. Deflected in the air. Hemmings has it for Muhlenberg.
Bob, I go back to what both coaches said before the game.
Turnover is Kamara pokes it away from Kantner. Turnover for the Mules, and now a foul going back the other way.
Yeah. I go back to what both Matt Flowers and Francis Kamara said before the game. Composure, composure, composure. Muhlenberg, to this point, has done a better job keeping its composure.
Jaden Kantner gets called for the foul. That's going to be his third. First foul against either side in the fourth. 6:38 to go in the fourth. 57-47, Muhlenberg on top. Look inside, Rosario from Malave. Wasn't sure what to do with it. It's poked away, and Rosario got it back, and then he's fouled.
Fouled by Hemmings.
Yep, Hemmings on the reach-in gets called for the personal. That should be his third. And the Mules' second. It is Eli Hemmings' third personal. Red Knights again will inbound underneath. Inside for De Castro, stripped away. Reading High turns it over again. Up ahead, Miller for Kantner, catch and finish for 2 more.
Reading didn't get down the floor.
Yeah,
not a good sign.
Francis Kamara calling a timeout as a result, as the lead rose to 12. 6:21 left to go in the ballgame. 59-47, back to Lauderdale after this.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away. Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers a welcoming, comfortable stay for the business or leisure traveler, providing clean and cozy rooms at a reasonable price. Conveniently located at the intersection of Route 12 and North 5th Street in Reading, Sure Stay Plus provides a fresh, hot breakfast buffet, all-day coffee, free fast Wi-Fi, HD TV, fridge and microwave, and much more. Plus, business travelers have access to services such as copying and a meeting space. Call 610-371-0500 to book your stay or visit bestwestern.com.
Welcome back to Lauraldale. I don't know if I'm going to say this is an upset alert, but I don't know if it is now. Governor Mifflin, 54. Berks Catholic, 49. The Mustangs take down Muhlenberg, and now Berks Catholic. That is a final.
Wow, that is what an impressive start in the league season for Governor Mifflin and Coach Garrett Etzel, former Alvernia star. Wow. And Mifflin star, by the way.
Reading slow to get back. Yeah, how about that?
That's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah, Reading was put their heads down after that rebound and gave there were 3 Muhlenberg players behind the rest of the Reading players. Easy basket for the Mules going into that timeout.
Yeah, up until that scoring point, I was going to go back with the idea of this. Well, Malavi's going to shoot a 3 that's well short, deflected around into the hands of a Red Knight. Ball loose on the floor. Reading High will turn it over again. Samuel had it but could not control it. Reading High again with a turnover. Muhlenberg up ahead. We're going to almost lost it. It's out of bounds. Who touched it last?
Might be a jump.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's Reading's ball. If it is.
Officials are looking at it. They did not get a clear look at it. So,
yeah, it's
Reading call it a jump ball.
So that's a turnover for the Mules. That's just their 5th this half.
But what I was going to say, Rich, is that it doesn't matter if it's Rick Perez, if it's Matt Flowers, if it's Francis Kamara coaching Reading High. You don't get back on defense, you're going to hear about it. And Francis Kamara called the timeout when the Red Knights did not get back on D.
Yeah, he noticed it right away. At least 3 of the players had their heads down and allowed that easy basket for the Mules.
So the Red Knights down by 12. Entry pass to Beatty. Dumps it off for Rosario in traffic. Up and fouled. Wesley Rosario drawing the contact. A little bit of talking after the play's over with.
Again,
everybody grabbing their teammates to pull them away.
Again, a lot of jawing, which we expected. It's been a pretty clean game, thank goodness.
Foul was on Jaden Perez. That's his second. Mules' second. Actually, Mules' third. And Reading High will inbound underneath. Red Knights need a bucket back. And it's slapped out of bounds by Miller. Still 5:33 left to go in the ball game. But the Red Knights with just 10 points so far in half number 2.
And honestly, 10 points in the last 2 quarters.
And almost a steal on the inbounds. Amari Allen had it for a moment, tried to get it back, but fouled in the process, battling with Khalil Samuel. So the foul will be on Allen.
It's his first. That's a team 4th already with just 2.5 minutes into the 4th quarter.
Inbounds for the Red Knights. Beatty for Rosario, for Kamara in the corner. Jeremiah goes baseline, double team, looking for somebody open. Hemming stolen away.
Terrific defense once again. Looked like Reading might get an easy shot.
Kantner poked away from behind, turned it over. Killen almost took it back. Mules will keep it. Red Knights will keep it with 5:12 to go. 59-47 is our score. The two teams have combined for 6 turnovers in this 4th quarter. Samuel, right side, driving on Killen, up off the glass, not even close. Kantner has the rebound. Up ahead, taken back by Beatty. Ball loose on the floor, taken back by Muhlenburg. Hemmings dumps it from Miller. Dumps it back for Killen for 3. No. Rebounded by Rosario and bumped and fouled by Miller. Miller and Rosario both going for the ball, and Miller got the foul.
No, it's on Hemmings, I think.
Nope, it's
No,
Miller.
it is Miller. You're right.
It's
Wow,
4 on Michael Miller. And it's also 5 against Muhlenburg, so Rosario will be at the free throw line on the other side. Looking for Reading High's first points of this 4th quarter. We are 3 minutes and 10 seconds into the quarter.
Again, it was 37-22 Reading with 3:45 left in the 2nd quarter. And since then, the Mules have outscored the Red Knights 37-10.
Wow. Rosario misses the first of 2 free throws. Miller now will come out after picking up that 4th foul, and Justin Armstrong back in.
Francis Kamara giving Jay Schmale an earful.
Rosario makes 1 out of 2. He's got 8.
He's a little frustrated right now, Coach Kamara.
Team down by 11 after Rosario's 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. 59-48 Mules. They've got the basketball and 4:35 left to play. Mari Allen swings it back to Kantner at half court, along with Killen, Armstrong, and Hemmings on the floor. Rosario hounding Kantner a long way away. Kantner trying to pick up that foul, and he does.
Down Rosario, yep. No doubt about it. That's his 3rd.
Yep. He knows that Rosario is overplaying defensively and just kind of put on the brakes, and Rosario fouled him.
Timeout, Mules.
So the Mules will take another timeout. We'll take one with them with 4:21 to go. And the Mules on top, 59-48. We come back to Laureldale after this.
One word comes to mind when you think of Latanzio sandwiches in Laureldale. Huge!
That's right, their hoagies are filled to the brim with all your favorite deli meats. Ham, turkey, roast beef, and Italian, of course. Forget about taking a trip to Philly. They got cheesesteaks, burgers, Italian sausage, and meatball subs. If you're hungry, don't get fast food. Get real food from Latanzio, Agabish. 3226 Kutztown Road in Lauraldale. Order on the phone 610-921-2324 or order online latanziosandwiches.com.
59.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together?
59-48 with 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the basketball game. Muhlenburg on top, and the Mules calling the timeout. Mules already over the limit in fouls. They are now down to two timeouts left. Reading High still has 4 timeouts left. Inbound quickly.
Yeah.
Shot missed down low by the Mules. Back comes the Red Knights.
I'll get to that, Bob, as soon as this play's over.
To Castro, blocked by Hemmings, but a foul before that.
So what happened, Reading was late. They missed the second horn, and the official said, here, Muhlenburg, and they missed the shot, and then we just had an offensive foul on Reading.
Castro.
That's on DeCastro.
Yep, and now goes another turnover against the Red Knights.
Yep.
And the Mules get it right back, still atop by 11. 59-48. Killens back on the floor for Muhlenburg. Is up for Armstrong. Miller, touch pass. Hemmings, catch and shoot two.
Great work by the Mules, passing the ball around.
61-48. Mules lead their largest at 13. 3:45 left to play. Rosario, screen left, goes right, dumps it for Cutter and Beatty and 2.
Another great dish by Wesley Rosario to Xavier Beatty this time.
61-56 for Beatty. Up ahead for Killen. They got a 3-on-2. Armstrong thought about the 3 and made the right choice.
Matt Flowers waving his hand, directing traffic. Hold on.
Yeah, I think if that shot went up, Justin Armstrong would have came to the bench. 3:15 to go. An 11-point Muhlenburg lead. They're going to try to spread the floor, run some clock with every possession. At least as best they can.
Oh, they're trying.
Yep. There's a foul.
Yeah, absolutely foul.
Red Knights had fouls to give.
That might be DeCastro, I think. Could be. Yep. No, it's
it looks like it's on Beatty.
On Beatty, yeah. That's his fourth, right? Yeah, that's
correct.
His fourth.
And the Red Knights third. So Reading High still has one more foul to give. DeCastro and Beatty out. Malave and Cameron Jones in for Reading High.
Justin DeCastro, who was so impressive in the first half with 17 points, has not scored this half, does not have a shot this half.
And on the inbounds, it's tapped out of bounds by Reading High, so it stays Muhlenburg basketball. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the ballgame. Sold out gym. High intensity early on in Berks Boys Division 1. And the landscape changes by the night. And there's an offensive foul on Michael Miller. He's done.
Absolutely, and that's his fifth. Yep, absolutely. No doubt about that one.
Swings the elbow right in front of the official. And that will be his fifth foul.
And there's no argument from Matt Flowers on that one.
It was right in front of Matt Flowers, too. So he's out. Amari Allen back in. Xavier Beatty back in for Reading High, and Nelson Malave comes out. Miller's still on the floor.
I think they're going to run clock.
Technically, he's got time to put a sub in.
That's what he's waiting for. But Bob, while we're waiting for this, if this score holds up and Muhlenburg wins, there will be one Berks 1 team with no losses.
Yep.
And if you would ask anybody this a week ago, they would have never guessed it's the Governor Mifflin Mustangs.
That's right. With a win under their belt against Muhlenburg on Tuesday night, and now a win over Berks Catholic tonight. Pretty good weekend start for the Mustangs so far. Here's Samuel for 3. No. Rebounded by Cantner. Pressure from the Red Knights to Killen across half court for Allen, and they'll smartly wait for help.
And now they'll spread the floor again. Reading High, again, would have to commit 2 fouls before they put Muhlenburg on the line.
And Rosario has 3?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's trying not to foul, but they're going to have to foul sometime. Francis Kamara is saying they got to foul twice to get Muhlenburg on the line.
Killen, great find underneath. Allen at 2.
Great patience by the Mules there. Killen again. Killen is such a good player.
They have really dissected the Reading defense on the spread of the offense. Here's a kick out for DeCastro. Thought about the 3, takes the 2 instead.
First shot of the second half for Justin DeCastro. That's incredible.
Eli Hemmings comes down with a rebound.
After the offense he provided in the first half.
2 minutes left to go. Mules again will spread the floor. Here comes the trap. They get it away from Armstrong to Cantner, who dribbles out of traffic. Killen again, backdoor look, and Hemmings, 2 more.
Great cut by Hemmings, great look by Killen.
Hemmings with the field goal and a timeout on the floor with 1:44 to go as Muhlenburg is diced up out of the spread offense, and they've now got a 15-point lead. Timeout on the floor. We come back to Laureldale. Muhlenburg 65, Reading High 50.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together? Score big this season with trays from Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken nuggets and chicken strips, fruits and garden salads, chocolate chunk cookies, and their delicious mac and cheese. Make a play with Chick-fil-A and you'll be a winner every time. Visit Chick-fil-A at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Chick-fil-A voted America's favorite fast food restaurant.
High school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group. It's a good one tonight in Laureldale, 65-50. The home team on top. Muhlenburg has the lead. Reading has the basketball following the Red Knight timeout. Desperate mode now for the Red Knights. And now a technical foul called against
Muhlenburg, and this is not going to go over with Matt Flowers. I think it's going to be on Allen, and that's who it is.
Yep. He told us before the game they had 2 technical fouls in the game against Mifflin the other night, and he is mad.
Yeah, he is hot. This is not going to go over well.
Mari Allen gets called for the technical. It stopped the clock.
Shamar Killen went to the official and asked what happened. He got an explanation, and you can't do that. Not with a 15-point lead. No way.
Yep. So Rosario is at the free throw line. He'll shoot 2 shots.
That's an inexcusable.
Yep. And then the Red Knights will get the ball back. You're giving your opponent a chance to gain points at the free throw line with no time going off the clock, and Rosario capitalized on it. 10 now for Rosario, and the Red Knights will inbound at a 65-52 deficit. I was about to say, the Red Knights need some shots from the outside. They just haven't found a whole lot so far tonight from beyond the arc.
Bob, that was just Allen talking trash, basically. It wasn't anything, he didn't push or shove or anything. It was just opening his mouth, and the officials heard him and got him for it.
Mules in a 2-3. Rosario fakes the 3, drives inside, or up and around, and
draws
fouls.
the foul on Collado.
And that'll be the 4th, I believe, on Collado. And Rosario right back to the free throw line. Matt Flowers pleading with his team, just put your hands up. Don't make contact and stop the clock with 1:21 left to go.
Reading has 5 field goals in the last 2.5 quarters. 5.
Yep. And Rosario at the free throw line makes another. Cameron Jones back into the game now for the Red Knights. Maybe gives them a 3-point shooter off the bench. Don't know. They do not have a 3-pointer in this game, I don't believe. Just going through, no, they do not. Reading High has not made a 3 in this game. And they're down by 12 and make it 11 after Rosario's 2 for 2. 65-54. 1:20 left to go. The trap Cantner beats the trap, bumped and fouled.
It's just the fourth foul. They had that foul to give Reading.
Correct.
Next foul, Muhlenburg goes to the line.
And that'll be on Cameron Jones, his first. And as Rich said, the next foul against the Red Knights puts Muhlenburg on the line to shoot 2.
Yep.
Jaden Perez back at the scorers table for Muhlenburg. Justin DeCastro back in the game for the Red Knights. Collado out and Beatty out. Muhlenburg basketball.
I'm guessing that Matt Flowers has his 5 best free throw shooters on the floor right now.
Reading high. And foul puts the Mules on the line for 2. Hemmings for Armstrong. Top of the key for Killen, stripped and fouled. Jones went for the steal, commits the foul instead, puts Killen on the line to shoot 2. Maybe not the guy you want at the free throw line based on his efforts on the year and the night.
8 for 8 from the line, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, not a good choice there by the Red Knights.
Killen continues to get it done. 25 now for Shamar Killen. That is 4 shy of his career high, which just happened to come on this very floor against this very team back on January the 6th. He had 29 in the Mules win last year here in Laureldale, 87-74.
Bob, I'll say it again. Muhlenburg overcame that 15-point deficit and is seemingly going to win this game because of its poise. They kept their composure even when down by 15.
67-54 with a minute to go. Jones heaves it for Kamara. Jeremiah step up for 3, still nothing from beyond the arc, and rebounded by Cantner and reached in and fouled. Jaden Cantner will shoot 2 now for the Mules. I invite you to stick around for our Pizza Como post-game show. Rich Garcelle will be down on the floor with our winning coach and some players of note in tonight's game.
You mentioned Reading has yet to hit a 3-point shot. The Red Knights are 0 for 9 from behind the arc.
Jaden Cantner now will shoot 2 for the Mules. Been kind of quiet in the scoring column for Muhlenburg tonight. Just not able to really get on track from distance. Was trying to force his game inside as a result tonight. Now he misses a free throw as well.
And he's a better free throw shooter than 1 for 3, which he is right now. Yeah, but he's directed the offense really, really well, whether it's in a half court or in transition. He's done a really nice job for the Mules tonight. Hasn't scored well, hasn't shot the ball well.
Makes the second. That gives him 8. And it makes it a 68-54 Muhlenberg lead. 50 seconds to go. Kamara inside, up and home. Jeremiah Kamara now has 12. And the difference is 12. Killen, long baseball pass for Cantner, and one more for Collado. Went through his hands and turned over by the Mules.
Yeah, Collado's got to catch that.
Stops the clock with 34.8, turns it back to Reading High. Red Knights down by 12, quickly up ahead. Kick it for Rosario, kick out. Malave for 3, they need it, but they can't find it. Rebounded momentarily, but taken back by Amari Allen and Muhlenberg with 20 seconds to go. Cantner, chased by Kamara. Trying to go for the steal on the reach in. The foul is committed instead by DeCastro. 14.3 left to go. The Mules back to the free throw line to put some icing on the cake. I remind you what happened last year. Round 1, Muhlenberg here in Laureldale, 87-74. Round 2, Matt Flowers brought it up, so I can say it because he brought it up at the Geigel, 83-46 Reading High. And then, of course, the 12-point win in the county semifinals sent the Red Knights to the county championship game where the Bulldogs came out on top in the county final at 54-53. Cantner back at the line makes the first. He'll get another.
Bob, it's December 12th, and we have seen 2 exciting basketball games and 2 great comebacks, even though the one Monday night, Berks Catholic turned around, blunted Wilson's comeback. Muhlenburg with a terrific comeback here tonight. And I'm going to tell you, this Division I is going to be something else the rest of this season.
Jones, step back 3, no. Rosario, put back 2, yes. It's window dressing at this point in time. The Mules don't even have to inbound the basketball. They take the game against the Reading Red Knights. The final score, Muhlenburg 70, Reading 58. We'll take a timeout, back with our postgame show and a whole lot more from Lauderdale. High school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group continues on after this on WEEU in Reading.
Ahoy! Adelphia Seafood is your neighborhood market for the freshest seafood around, with locations in West Lawn, Fairgrounds Market, and Pottsville. They offer a range of delicious options from crab cakes, clams, fresh organic salmon, and succulent shrimp, as well as convenient take-home dinners and more. For more information or to place an order, visit adelphiaseafood.com or just call one of their stores. Enjoy top-quality seafood and exceptional service right in your community at Adelphia Seafood.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent is Cross Keys Insurance. Get a quote today at crosskeysins.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Welcome to the Pizza Como postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong on the 5th Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, and legendary pizza. Right next door is The Yard, a virtual golf experience to keep your game sharp all year round. And if you love sports cards and memorabilia, you can stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como and The Yard, right down the street from where we are, 4600 5th Street Highway in Temple. Pizza Como postgame show has the Muhlenburg Muhls with the win against the Reading Red Knights, 70-58. Rich mentioned it about the comeback that the Muhls put together in this one, and the Red Knights looked to be in control for a while. At 37-22, they had their largest lead in the second quarter, but that's when things changed, and it changed in a lot of ways when Wesley Rosario picked up his second personal foul. Jeremiah Camaro took him out, figuring he had the lead and some time on the clock that he could try to take advantage of Rosario on the bench. But the Mules made a run to finish off the second quarter and scored 12 straight points in that second quarter. And then the turnover bug bit the Red Knights hard in the third quarter. Reading High had 9 turnovers and 10 points in the third quarter, and that allowed Muhlenburg to turn their fortunes into a lead at 55-47 after 3. And then they took care of business in the fourth quarter, did a really good job of spreading the floor, eating up some time with the possessions, and ultimately dicing themselves some great looks inside as the Mules took care of business tonight on their home floor. They win it by a final score of 70-58 as they outscore Reading High 36-22 in half number 2 and get the win. Their first win in the conference, now at 1-1, and Reading High again tonight being their conference debut for the new season, dropped their first. But the Red Knights will no doubt take something out of this one for sure, and we'll see it quickly because the Red Knights are right back at it on Tuesday night at the Geigle against Berks Catholic, who, as we told you a little bit ago, lost to Governor Mifflin tonight. So the Saints and the Red Knights both coming in off of a loss, facing one another on Tuesday night at the Geigle, and we will have that one for you here on WEEU. Rich Garcella down on the floor, looking to work his way through the crowd and grab Matt Flowers and a player. Rich doing a little conducting of the bodies on the floor and Once that is in place, we will send things down to Rich for our post-game conversation. Again, Matt Flowers and what will ultimately be Shamar Killen. Rich, if you're ready, take it away.
Thanks, Bob. We're here with Muhlenburg coach Matt Flowers, senior Amari Allen, senior Shamar Killen, after the Mules 70-58 win over Reading. Matt, let's just talk about Shamar. 28 points in this big rivalry game. What can you say about him?
Listen, when we came into the season, I said to him before, you got to play like the player of the year. You should be a player of the year candidate. You got to play like one of the big-time games. Today we went to him, and he delivered like a player of the year.
What did you see from Amari in terms of the energy that he brought off the bench for you?
Well, we've been looking for a spark off the bench from one of our guards. He came in today. He was diving on the ground, getting tip balls. He played tremendous defense today. He had a lot of love for his teammates. He waited his turn. It was his time to shine, and he executed the plan.
You stick around. I want to talk to these two young guys. Shamar, you guys were down 37-22, middle of the second quarter. What were you telling each other?
We were telling each other that we're good, we're going to be fine, we trust each other, and we're just going to always come together no matter what.
Coach talked before the game about composure and how important it would be in this game. How important was composure tonight?
It was very important. We got to all stay together and stay composed no matter what type of pressure we get.
Amari, what did you want to do coming off the bench tonight? What is your role on this team?
My role is to play defense. I came in with energy, loving my teammates, and that's what got us to win today.
What can you say about Shamar's performance tonight, especially at the offensive end?
I love his performance. He always performs well, and I love Esda.
Okay, I'm going to let these two young men go. Matt, come on back here. You guys, thanks a lot, if you want. Matt, what did you tell your guys, though, down 37-22 in the middle of the second quarter?
You got to just stick together. It's a game of runs, and I told him before the game, it's a game of runs, and everyone's going to have a run. Well, you got to stick together when the run happened. We've been here before. We were down. We fought back. They stuck together in the second quarter. We closed the gap with Amari Allen coming in the game. We closed the gap, and we're down three at half. They came out, and they just played really good defense, and it was good to see.
You talked about it. Francis Kamara talked about it before the game about poise, composure. How well do you think your guys kept their composure tonight in this frenzied environment?
I thought they did well. Our guys been in this environment now for 4 years now. So it's been something that we've been playing in. We were just in it on Tuesday. They're back again today playing in it. We preach this environment that we preach at practice, and our kids just showed up. We're at home. So we had to perform in front of our home fans.
Matt, thanks so much. We'll see you down the road. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for coming. Appreciate you.
Back up to you, Bob.
All right, thanks very much, Rich. Great job, and thanks to Matt Flowers, Shamar Killen, and Amari Allen spending some time with us here in Laureldale. 70-58, the final score. Let's take a look now at our player of the game. We may have a pretty good indication who that is based on that conversation. Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by the Reading Fight Phils and their all-new Redner's Event Center at First Energy Stadium. The R Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet in the R Phils all-new Redner's Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium. Whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting, or event, or any charity fundraiser, the number one place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redner's Event Center at the R Phils. Go to rphils.com/events for more information. There's something about Reading High in Laureldale that brings out the best of Shamar Killen. His career high 29 in the game between these two teams here in January a year ago. He came up one shy of that in this one with 28 points to help lead the way for the Mules. He was the one of two players in double figures. Jaden Kantner also in double figures with 10, 8 each for Eli Hemmings and Justin Armstrong. 6 for Jaden Perez on a couple of threes, 5 for Michael Miller, 4 for Amari Allen, and 1 for Jeff Collado. And the Mules total of 70 for Reading High, led tonight by Justin DeCastro, who had 17 points. That's the good news. The sophomore had 13 of those 17 in the first quarter and all 17 in the first half. That was it for him. 14 for Wesley Rosario, 12 for Jeremiah Kamara, 6 for Xavier Beatty, 4 for Khalil Samuel, 3 for Jameer Make Jacobs, and 2 for Nelson Malave. But again, the turnover column is something that Francis Kamara will not be happy with when this one's all said and done. 9 turnovers in the third quarter for Reading High after they had only committed 6 in the first half.
They committed 4 more turnovers in the fourth quarter, and Muhlenburg made them pay time and time again. 70-58, our final score. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with our American Diner play of the game and a wrap of a night of basketball and a week of basketball, in the first week of basketball here on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading after this.
Judd Firestone Plumbing is your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, our team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams, we handle it all with professionalism and care. Call today at 610-678-9080. Judd Firestone Plumbing, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind.
One word comes to mind when you think of Latanzio sandwiches in Laureldale. Huge! That's right, their hoagies are filled to the brim with all your favorite deli meats. Ham, turkey, roast beef, and Italian, of course. Forget about taking a trip to Philly. They got cheesesteaks, burgers, Italian sausage, and meatball subs. If you're hungry, don't get fast food. Get real food from Latanzio, agabish. 3226 Kutztown Road in Laureldale. Order on the phone 610-921-2324 or order online latanziosandwiches.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
Welcome back to our Pizza Como postgame show. Tonight's play of the game brought to you by American Diner in West Reading. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a late-night snack, you'll find a variety of menu items and homemade desserts. American Diner serves breakfast all day, and dinner entrees include dinner rolls and butter, soup and salad bar, and a choice of potato or vegetable. There's a full senior citizen menu that includes a free dessert, and military veterans receive a 10% discount. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and serving the community for generations since 1994. We're not going to necessarily say a play of the game by a single player, but a style of play of the game, and that's what Muhlenburg did in that fourth quarter to keep Reading High at bay. Reading High was in full desperation mode after the Mules had made it an 8-point game after 3 quarters. They simply spread the floor. They made Reading High chase them, and they dissected the Red Knights. They got a bunch of layups inside. Jamar Killen had a bunch of the assists in all of that. Eli Hemmings with a couple of buckets. Justin Armstrong with a bucket as well. And the Mules just diced up the Red Knights in that fourth quarter, and they took it from an 8-point game, and they made it a double-digit advantage, and they ultimately win it 70-58. A really good performance tonight of 32 minutes of basketball. Rich Garcella back up in the booth with me. And, Rich, I think it starts with that. We talked about the comeback for Muhlenburg, and we get back to the composure aspect of all of this. That Matt Flowers talked about it, and Francis Camara talked about it as well. The Mules didn't get rattled by being down by 15 points. They worked their way back in. The Red Knights got very rattled in that third quarter.
Look, there were moments. What did Muhlenburg have? 2 technical fouls on them
They
tonight?
did.
So there were moments that they did. There were players that lost their composure. But the key guys didn't lose their composure. Jaden Kantner, Shamar Killen, Justin Armstrong, Eli Hemmings. Those 4 didn't lose their composure, and that's the reason why Muhlenburg was able to come back in this game. Reading, it was obvious once Muhlenburg began its comeback, Reading became frustrated. And there was a play, Bob, remember in the third quarter, where there was, I think it was a defensive rebound, a fast break, and 3 Reading players had their heads down.
Yes.
And there were 3 Muhlenburg players that beat the rest of the Reading team down the floor, easy layup, and Francis Camara saw it and called a timeout. But by then, Reading was beaten. Mentally, they were beaten.
No doubt about it. And again, that's this piece of news. And the other piece of news that we gave to you earlier tonight is that Governor Mifflin, who beat Muhlenburg on Tuesday in Shillington, beats Berks Catholic tonight, 54-49. So the Mustangs right now, early on, are on the top of the Division I standings. Red Knights have a loss. The Mules have a loss. The Saints have a loss. And based on our game on Monday night, the Bulldogs have a loss as well because they lost to the Saints. It's just getting started. It is going to be a hellacious 2025 in Division I of the Berks Boys Conference.
Some
the coaches love it right now. I don't know how they're going to love it in February,
Yeah.
but it's going to be awesome.
Some folks who happen to be fans of the Southeastern Conference will appreciate this. Southeastern Conference football. They're beating each other up.
Yep.
And we're only here in December, 12th? Yes. December 12th. Wait till the full round robin
Right.
twice.
Because they're going to play each other
They're going to
twice.
play each other twice. It's going to be crazy. And really, I couldn't tell you who's the favorite. I mean, who?
No.
It's impossible
We've
right
seen
now to
4 of the 5. We'll see Governor Mifflin in the new year. We've seen 4 of the 5. But we've seen the Mustangs. I mean, we know what the Mustangs have and what's going on. Now, again, new coach with Garrett Etzel. But still, it's early on. But that's an impressive early statement for Governor Mifflin to say, hey, I know those other 4 teams are pretty good, but do not forget about us, the Mustangs, with an early statement in Division I, and the Mules with a statement tonight against Reading High.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, is there a chance that all 5 teams could make the district playoffs?
I'm pretty sure the BCIAA rules say that only that can't happen.
It can't happen for the county. No, I was thinking that.
Yes, for sure.
For district.
Absolutely.
But in the county, I think it can only be, I think it's 3.
Yes.
I think I'm not thinking straight here because, but the fact is, this is going to be a heck of a Division I race. And again, I said it earlier, you can't take a night off.
No
way.
No. And I mean, in the post-game conversation with Snip Esley with you on Monday night, he was talking about, just taking care of business on your home floor and then trying to steal a win on the road, which is what they were able to do. And then they end up losing to Governor Mifflin. So again, you're not necessarily factoring in all of that. But I mean, Matt Flowers, was pretty matter of fact about how his team approached on Tuesday night. I said, were your kids looking past Mifflin a little bit, thinking about Reading High? He said, no, we were focused on Mifflin. They just beat us. They ultimately made shots. We didn't. We lost our composure, and it turned out to get us. And again, the Reading High faithful will start to jump off the bandwagon. It happened last year. Francis Camaro weathered a ton of storm early on in the season because he was the new coach with Rick Perez having left town and come here to Muhlenburg. He took a lot of heat early on, and he kind of just put his toes firmly in the ground, and he knew his team would get better as the season went on, and he was right, and he's right again in this year. So
no doubt about it. They lost a heartbreaking Berks championship game to Wilson. They reached the district semifinals. They reached the state semifinals, went on a terrific run in the state tournament, had a really, really good year. And, I mean, they're going to get better. This team is going to get better because they lost a lot of veterans from last year's team. But how much better? And again, you're not going to have a night off. You can't take a break against the other 4 teams in this division. It's impossible.
Having said that, our basketball games next week, will be more of the same.
That's boom.
Tuesday night we'll be at the Geigel, Berks Catholic at Reading High, and then Friday we'll be in West Lawn, Reading and Wilson. And we'll just continue throughout our coverage. And again, one more game before the Christmas break, and it's a good one. Girls basketball, 2 of the best in the county in that one as well. Berks Catholic away missing. That's Monday, December the 23rd. That's our games just in December, and a whole lot more games coming your way. So that's going to do it for our coverage. Thanks to Tim Moyer, the athletic director here at Muhlenburg High School, for hospitality. Thanks to Jeff Nolan, Matt Knob doing the work back at the WEEU studios. For my colleague, Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. Thanks for listening, as always. And the game will be available to you on our 830 WEEU Sports YouTube channel. You can watch it back at your leisure at any point in time. It is a great watch. 70-58, Muhlenburg wins it. The Red Knights fall to 1-4 and now 0-1 in the division. Muhlenburg now 1-1 in the division and 5-2 on the season. Again, the final, Muhlenburg 70, Reading High 58. Have yourselves a great evening, everyone. We'll talk to you with more high school basketball coming your way next week on a Tuesday night.
You've been listening to High School Basketball on WEEU.
High school sports on 830 WEEU is brought to you in part by Adelphia Seafood, American Diner, Bachman's Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, Chick-fil-A, Cross Keys Insurance, Diefenbach Snacks, Elite Fuel Service, Houndstown Reading,